We cut back to some time ago on a Narendra station as a certain astrophysicist is discussing something with a certain Starfleet officer. Yolen and Commander Jaishu are standing inside one of the research labs with some holographic distribution imagery. And the two of them, Yolen is staring up at the display, along with Commander Jaishu just behind them. And Arlen, I would like you to have Yolen, and Panda would like you to have Jaishu.
Yay.
Don't sound so excited.
Sorry, I'm eating crackers.
So apparently Jaishu's eating crackers. For some reason, I like that image. No.
Saltine.
Well, that's why I should repent.
So Yolen oh, go ahead.
So, great force in the sky. What am I looking at in the astrometrics?
So what you're looking in this holographic lab, because I don't have a budget for more than this, you're looking at a theoretical construct that you've heard about in various research papers in the Klingon texts and Romulan texts that you've slowly been getting more of, and some of the old texts you brought with you during the jump from the old verse to the new verse. And this in front of you is Reason plus Science, difficulty 3. Does Yolen truly understand what it is he's managed to get the holograms to tell him? I'll have the station help you. It'll most likely hit, but I might roll a 20, so just be aware of that.
Okay. Is this a time challenge?
No, just the one. Just off
Okay.
the elbow.
Okay. Just looking over these talents. Astrophysics as a focus.
Yep.
Three. I'm going to give you 3 threat.
Certainly.
Well, I got it.
You did indeed get it. Does Jaishu wish to attempt to assist with this? Because she is there kind of helping Yolen understand what it is, because she understands Starfleet machinery and the protocols. She got him this room, that sort of thing.
Sure. So definitely science?
Most likely science, yeah.
Focus in Starfleet protocols?
Given how I framed that, yes. I would also let you shift it to engineering if that's better.
It is not.
Okay. Well, she did what she could. I do have a complication on the board.
Station?
Oh, station, yes. 1 second. Boop. Station hit. So you have 1 momentum generated.
I think it's on Thralic to keep this session.
Will do.
Only thing I can and think of is to re-roll it with determination.
If you want to spend that determination.
Yeah, this might be important. Hands-on
What's the value
learning.
again?
Hands-on learning.
Hands-on learning? I'll take it, yeah. You've probably been in here a bit during the the down. This is during the mandatory shore leave time. So Yoland's had some time to kind of fiddle with this and place it this way, place it that way, and trying to figure out what exactly this data is telling him.
That's better.
You generated an extra momentum on top of that, so you have 2 momentum on the board. What you are looking at is an artificially induced transdimensional wormhole effect. Now, in theory, well, actually, before I say anything more than that, well, no, I'll at least explain the graphic before I let you ask questions, because why not? So the wormhole has one verse going to another verse, and then you basically are forcing a wormhole effect to a certain threshold that meets at a certain dimensional barrier between the two verses. So you kind of have to induce. It's like creating a wormhole, which is already hard enough as it is. That's something that no one can do right now in the alpha and beta quadrants.
At least
In
not
any
do
way,
well.
or do well. Yeah, you can't do it. You can make an unpredictable wormhole, but that's it. You can't make a stable one. But this is making a stable wormhole up until a threshold that is as yet not totally well understood, like that mirrorverse multidimensional quantum slip sort of barrier. And then somehow drawing a wormhole from that other verse to meet you on that halfway point, and that becomes a bridge, a literal wormhole from one universe to the other, one dimension to another.
I'm not sure if this is going to cost a question, but what level of multi-dimension are we talking about? Are we talking about different worlds with different big bangs, different physical constructs, different timelines?
In theory, yes, is the answer to that.
So either one of those?
Either of them, both of them. Now, the problem here is that you somehow would need something from that other verse to be an attractant to pull this other verse over, and an attractant on the other side to pull it over. The bigger the
So-
better, and the bigger it is, the larger the wormhole would be, in theory.
So are these representative of planets?
Planetoids or some large scale astronomical body. You would need something larger than, say, a moonlet or an asteroid. If it's that small, the most you're getting is probes, which in theory could work, but for practical interstellar use in interstellar civilization use, you need something that's scale 2, 3 would be better, and 3 is the bare minimum for it to be at all strategically or economically or scientifically viable is not correct, but economically or strategically viable. Scientifically, if you can get a scale 1 probe through there, that's amazing. You can learn all kinds of stuff. But that's it's very hard to get any one civilization to fund such a expensive proposition for probing other dimensions. I mean, the Federation might do it, but even then, you'd have to put aside so many different resources. Now you can ask
So
questions.
it seems to me that this is stage 2 of a project. This is what you do after you made the initial transit over to bring one planetoid over, and then use that planetoid as an anchor point to get a larger bridge so you can more easily transit. Which means, what would stage 1 be? How do we get the planetoid from universe A into universe B?
What does Jaisha have to say about that? As Yolan kind of explained what it is you're looking at.
Is it possible it could have happened at the same time we came across? So with the reality device? Like, it got pushed through and in return something got pushed the other way?
It could be. In that case, Ace would be looking for mirror or planet anatoid that was displaced. If something was if there was a planet that was in the exact same place at the exact same time as we transit over, they could have transposed on each other and stayed undetected because as the universe just wants to conserve mass and energy. As long as they're the same planetoid in both universes, that would satisfy that.
I can look through the system, see if there's something there. GM.
Station operations to Commander Jaishu. Your presence is requested at operations, please.
This is Commander Taishu. Very well. I will be there shortly. Cuts to comms. Sorry, Yolan. I'm going to have to go, but you can inquire on that train of thought. And head off.
As Yolan, what is Yolan going to ask of himself of this? What is the one question he wants to know from what he's discovered so far? It will cost 1 momentum to ask it, because I don't think he gets any freebies.
He does not get any freebies.
Hashtag no free rides. No. Trickle down science. Anyway.
He's not so concerned about the tactical implications, more of the scientific implications. Like, what could we learn from seeing in another universe? So, what would be the extreme range of this? Like, how different of a universe could we see using this method?
I'll take 1 momentum for that.
What, like a 0.1 or like complete degrees? Is that what you're trying?
In theory, you could. Most quantum slip shifts are minute shifts, like they're like 0.000. They're very minor shifts. They're our universe, but a tiny bit different. And I mean tiny, tiny bits. Like even the fact of Mirrorverse, it's like the Mirrorverse, even though it's drastically socially and politically different, Earth is still Earth, the sun is still the sun, the Milky Way is still Milky Way, physics are still physics. Like all the big astronomical things are still the same. You can't. It's hard to shift large jumps like that.
And even in the mirror universe, we still have the same people, the same genealogy, the same.
Yeah. And even that little shift takes a ton of energy to do. It is immensely difficult, and even then, having the correct coordinates for an exact dimension requires something. This, in theory, if you can get the right anchor points, you can go wherever into whatever. Mind you, if the fundamental physics of that other verse are so radically different from yours, it's unclear how you would exactly get that thing to where you are and have it be at all stable and not unravel in your own universe. Like if the whole universe is made of marshmallows. Yeah, same idea. Because you'd have to put something of yours in their verse.
Yeah, I was gonna say we go to a universe where 2 + 3 equals egg.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just literal man-made
or just like where the strong force is weaker.
Comprehension. Yeah. Well, like you want to talk about non-Euclidean geometry. Imagine geometry where Euclideus doesn't even exist.
Mm-hmm.
Right angles, there are no right angles, only Zool.
There are only Ron angles in this universe.
Or a universe where entropy isn't a thing.
The door opens behind Yolan. And someone seems to be walking. You can hear someone walking up to him.
I'm going to turn around and see.
New scene.
Oh well, end of session. Cool.
I was gonna say, Ellen, the end of the episode.
This is a two-threat game. We're now talking about current time period. Commander Thralic, the current commanding officer of the Achilles. Could I have a log, please?
Yes, sirree, you sure can. Acting Captain's Log, stardate 60104. Our efforts to intercept the criminals operating just outside of Federation space in the Shackleton have encountered difficulties. In our attempts to apprehend the fleeing ship, I made a series of sharp warp jumps, and a tractor beam was attached to the criminal vessel. However, emerging from the suspect black hole as we went to warp is a indeterminate energy field that currently has us locked in position. Helm reports that even at full warp, we are only maintaining position, sending out this message now as a buoy. End log.
And well, we have a bit of an issue. Whoops, wrong one.
Is that I lied and we're actually fine? No? Ah, damn.
That momentum is gone as we are in a new scene, unfortunately for you. And everyone who is no, is everyone here on the board? Yes. Okay, cool. So as we have, the Achilles is currently at full warp. I will let you hang on to your increased resistance that you had from last session. So you are at 13 of 8. You're at 13 resistance because you haven't received damage. I felt it was only fair. I didn't feel like punishing you for having a new episode fire at you because you didn't know the end was coming.
Yeah, appreciate it.
No, we're trying to forestall the incoming.
Yeah.
That's why we put the extra resistance.
We thought the end was us stealing them, not them stealing us. So
Yeah.
You're currently sitting at your maximum rated warp of 9.985. You have a time limit of 1 hour to figure out what you're going to do. Because all you managed to do is freeze yourself. The amount of power pulling you back is equalizing the power pushing yourself forward.
Yeah.
And on the
Is
plus side,
it-
in this ship, the ship next to you is not doing any warp. They're in your warp bubble because you tractored them. So you pulled them real
Yeah.
close to your ship to create a bubble around both of you and then jumped.
Question: Is the force being pulled back overwhelming us, or is it reactionary? If we pull a little harder, does it pull harder?
You have yet to pull any hard. You are pulling as hard as your ship possibly can go. So you're not sure what will happen if you pull harder than this.
Might be able to find that out from computer logs because we don't instantly go to max warp. So
Yeah, we accelerate, and we need to see if this force is like reacting to us going to warp and feeding off it somehow.
yeah.
Reason Science difficulty 3 assisted by computers plus science.
Go get it, Vin.
Yep. And you're up.
I don't think he's currently here.
No,
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm here. I was muted.
Ah,
yeah,
okay.
so
Sorry.
launch him towards it and find out.
No.
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 Please. Take a threat.
Take a threat eye.
Astrophysics focus. Reverse engineering. Research.
I'll take research.
Cool.
Oops, wrong ticker. This one. There we go.
Cool. Cool.
Oh, sorry. I made that too big. Nah, I should do that way. You are able to determine that the field activated at the moment of jump. So the moment the warp bubble is formed and you started moving to faster than light, you did briefly move to like here. So you did move essentially the distance between Earth and Mars, and then you were yanked back. And then as you accelerated up to your max speed, you froze yourself at your origin point.
So
Okay.
did the field ramp up, or was it a static value?
Yeah. Free question?
Free question. It ramped up.
Okay.
So that means the field is variable and would react to what we do. So we have to play chess with it.
Mm-hmm.
Not simply a matter of getting more power to the engines then.
I can't Tim the Toolman Taylor this.
Okay. I am going to. Ooh, okay.
Merlin exposes himself as being 700 years old.
Let's see.
As you ponder, the ship that you have in tractor beam attempts to break from the tractor beam.
Oh.
No.
Someone
Well.
should tell them to please no, or you will die horrible death.
That is a terrible idea. Please don't.
Just about to say, from last week, didn't we create an advantage of it as like a higher strength?
No, we talked about it, but that's not possible because that's directly a ship.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I remember something like that. I just can't remember exactly what it was.
Where is the stats for this silly ship? I had it. Because I remember rolling for it.
Yeah, it's such a shitty joke.
Oh. I remember. I actually gave you guys a sheet for it, and that's what I was using. I didn't
Yes.
transcribe it. Well, I might as well roll the dice. It won't much matter. If I roll crap, it's not going to matter. Let's buy all the dice we can, because we think you're going to get us killed. In fact, you're the ones keeping them alive, but, you know, stupid people do stupid things.
News to me.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
I didn't want you to make that roll, guys. That's not good. Oh, sorry. The ship helps.
I don't know if that's necessarily an oh yet.
I'm seeing at least 4 are just based off of standard dice.
Mhm.
Oh, we are a 4. Yeah, that's right. I was thinking of a different ship that has a 6.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I thought it was like security +1.
Huh?
I honestly can't remember the last time we talked about tractors. I thought the strength was like
Scale -1.
was it scale
Scale
minus
-1.
one? Sorry.
Yeah.
Scale -1 unless you've got a talent that bumps it up and also allows you to, while they're attempting escape, buy up the cost.
It shows you how much we use the tractor beam.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, no
it tells
religion
you
had
how
the-
much I use the tractor beam because I remember that shit.
Yeah. Oh, there's the sure shot. I do have the sheet. I haven't shared it with you guys yet, I don't think. But oh well, I have the sheet.
Yeah,
I remember.
you have.
Wait, the sure shot is the freaking Orion ship. That's the wrong ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
wrong.
Sundown. The other ship. There we go. I just need to see if the ship is actually helping at all.
The Orion ship was the SSSS.
Engines engineering, I think. Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 hits.
Bye, guys.
I mean, we could always recover its data core.
Provided it's not crushed.
Oh, yeah.
It does, in fact, break away, and immediately it tries to warp and maintain at least your speed.
So, let me just look at how this thing's worded before you spend all of that,
Sure.
because I might be able to terribly upset them.
What you thinking about?
I was like, no hesitation, but that's not an action scene technically, question mark. I was like, I could just tractor beam them again.
For Ryloff.
I mean, we are kind of in an action scene.
Yeah.
We are, yeah, true, but that's also at the start of. Yeah.
1 second.
Wording is weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
Technically, I could have interrupted their start, but because I think they've done a thing, I can't. It's how that's worded.
I mean,
Yeah.
you can also say it's like something happened, story happened.
Well, what? Well, I'm trying to get to my freaking cheat sheet. Where is it? I have the wrong link. That's what's happening. It's this one, not that one. Yep. That's why I couldn't find it. There it is. Watch. Well, I mean, watch. You can't see what I'm doing.
Yes, watch the sounds that I make.
So what you could do, so I'll claw back the dice I spent there, because I would have had to spend to create the complication. So the 2 I spent, that happens because I'm trying to do something. The 6 might not happen because, at no hesitation, this is an action scene, so it does fire. The tractor beam is still in effect. You can, Ryloff in particular, in combat timing, can tell they are trying to break from the tractor beam. They haven't yet, but they're about to. You can see the surge of their engine. You can see, you get the sense that they're about to do this last-second RCS burst to laterally thrust themselves sideways and break out of your grip while you're trying to focus on warping.
Which then they to give you a threat to activate.
Yep. So do you wish to spend a threat to activate it, or do you want to see what happens when they try to maintain your speed?
He's not a scientist, otherwise he might. Let's see what happens. A little bit fucked up, but he's a Romulan.
Yeah.
It's like the
That does
opposite
sound
of
like
running
Romulan
away.
science.
It's like the opposite of running away from a bear. You don't have to be the first. You don't have to be the last guy to run away from a scientific phenomenon. You just want to let another ship go first.
Yeah, and shooting it is also a terrible idea. But the other thing that is accessible from this station is communications, so that's like the best thing he can do is probably send them a message being like, the course of action you are about to take will lead to your imminent destruction. Here are the reasons why.
Here's a thesis against you doing what you're doing.
Not a thesis. He's gonna like very much just shorthand. No, if you break out from that, you will be sucked into that thing and immediately crushed.
Yeah.
The only thing keeping you out of that is our vessel.
Presence command, difficulty 3 to hit the number, and then if you hit it, you would be rolling your command +5 in challenge dice to see if you can get the captain to listen to reason. Well, not necessarily just the captain, the crew to listen to reason.
Yeah, just the helmsman needs to be like, you know what? I believe you. I do have my traits. I don't think paranoid does anything this time. I can't see a reason it would.
No, neither can I.
There's potentially survivor. In the sense of, do you want to survive? I am telling you as someone who's been through some stuff. Hi. Or inscrutable might hurt or help.
Inscrutable will add 2 complication.
Yep.
Survivor will pull the diff down by 1.
Okay. Do, do, do. It's not a. I can't argue that. I do have
Tactic,
a
do not
survival,
die.
a focus in survival. I was about to say a survival and focus. Focus in survival.
Focus and survival, yeah, because you're trying to explain. Because part of it with that trait, your character probably understands their instinct is you don't look like you have the solution to the problem, so I'm better off on my own. It's like I
Yeah.
understand the instinct. That isn't a good idea right now.
It's like here's your lifeline. Don't cut that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to, because you think you're cutting us free, but you're not. Or cutting yourselves free from us, but we're not holding you back. We're holding you up.
Yep.
Okay, presence command. I'm amazing at this role.
These stiff too.
Yeah. um,
Oh, assisted by ship's communications plus command because you're doing it through the ship, so someone else on the ship, some of the
Okay.
lesser crew on the ship might help out.
Definitely not the value. You can't sit around and wait for help because they're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm convincing them to do that.
No, sit
Like-
around for help. No, really, just sit there. I know that I wouldn't normally do that either, but for now, that's not the right instinct.
So that's not the value I can use. I don't think because of
No.
that. It's like I can't convince you to do something that I wouldn't do. Using that
You could
I'm
probably
willing
go
to give
for-
you a determination point
for going
if-
against
if-
that.
for not telling them because you're letting them follow the instinct.
Don't forget we got directives.
It might be a directive violation. That is a fair shot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we need the ship to prove that that's got the evidence.
That's one of those rare moments of STA where where the DM invokes the value as a negative and says, "Hey, if you take the negative, if you take the L on that one, I'll give you a determination because that's the price I have to pay to get you to do it."
That's fair, but I'm also like, this one he's going against it as well.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. He's also right now being like, I'm not saying, hey, Captain, this is what they're doing. I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
So he personally still kind of going into it, but he's telling them to not.
Yeah.
What are our fucking directives anyway? I can't.
They're
They're
in
not
pinned.
pinned, are they?
They are pinned.
Yeah.
I thought we had something specifically to do with this anomaly. Not those ones that are pinned from last year.
Well, the mission directives.
Yeah. We do.
We've got mission directives. It's just under. In
Scroll,
search
scroll.
of. Right? No. We had
Probably
something to do
under
with pirates.
part 1.
We had several, and I'm like, one of those is.
Yeah. Oh, okay, here I found them.
Use reply to them. No. You
Here.
There they are. Yes, I knew there was something else. Mission directive. There we are. Okay. Yeah. Detain any smugglers as present. They cannot be detained if they get crushed.
That's fair. Wait, didn't I already do this? Pin?
It's like,
Choose.
yeah, they can't be detained if they get crushed. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then I made a momentum off of that, and then I don't keep it.
And then here's the ship.
But yeah.
Nothing from the ship.
And it's how many challenge dice? It was my command plus what?
Oh, sorry, your
5?
command plus 2. I got it backwards.
Oh, okay.
I forgot how checks like that work. Doy.
Yeah.
I just thought you were giving extra challenge dice for some reason. I was like, okay.
Huh. You know, that's 4 at the moment. That's not horrible, and I'll just spend the one that's there made from that to damage. To 5 at least.
5. 5 is enough to cause an argument over there, and they are delaying. You are still in combat timing. This does affect the big old clock in the sky over there, because you've now learned that you get a standby message from them. It's just like, so you could, reading between the lines for any interstellar traveler, you idiots are arguing about this over there.
Yeah.
So they still might do it. It just depends whether or not you keep talking them down or someone on that ship talks them down, which I'll do a random roll every time you guys do something, and somebody over there might succeed.
I mean, my action's pretty much gone at the moment, so I could would Swift House count the thing down more or no?
Swift would not, because you're increasing your difficulty by going quicker. Yep.
I like giving you stuff. Sure. We'll keep trying. It's just like, well, yeah. It's basically the security officer being like, there's actually not terribly much I can imagine myself doing to be helpful in this situation other than this.
Saving these people from themselves, really.
Yes, and so let the nerds do their nerd stuff, and the commander worry about everything except for these idiots in the other ship.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm being responsible.
You're taking initiative.
Yes.
So you can attempt to talk to them then again. It would be presence command diff 3 with the modifiers.
Yep.
Comp 2, yep.
And we'll
As Rylov madly types out a message to them, trying to get these idiots not to get themselves killed.
I mean, that or he's just like talking. It's just not the bridge talk. He's just talking to his
Screen.
yeah,
Talking to his
yeah.
lap.
I mean, you have communications that go on in the background that the captain doesn't need to mess with.
Like, there's probably like lots of talking behind you, and you're like, no, I have 3 other staff to help with tactical. You don't need me to be watching every single moment. Especially with security at 5 for the ship. You have tons of people on the ship that are worrying about security right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Like a whole
if I
deck.
could, if I could hear their back and forth in the background, it would be. I've got a milestone. I could just be like, this one. I hear that guy in the background, and I'm like, what he's saying isn't wrong. In terms of coordinating the argument with him a little bit from across the ship.
You could spend that milestone to create that advantage that that will bring down the difficulty or the complication by a bit, because they may have left the channel open when they said standby. They didn't cut the channel. They were just, you could hear the conversation happening behind them, because normally you would mute yourself, or they would mute themselves rather.
Yeah, which is when angels deserve to die.
Yeah.
Which is
diff or comp?
We'll go diff.
So back down to diff 2.
And then I have imperfection, which also just has a survival milestone to get a determination from that.
Yes, yeah.
Because I have a 12. Presence command is not his thing. Shooting you is.
I mean, still better than 50%.
Yeah.
Bob isn't terrible in the system.
And we'll apply mission directive again.
Plus
Plus
ship.
2.
You got 2 momentum off of that, it looks like.
Yep.
Give me your...
Yikes.
Well...
Can you use 1 to reroll 4, right? Question mark, or is that
Yeah.
You can reroll as many challenge dice as you like, but you have to keep the second
just
one.
making sure that applied to this kind of roll. I know it does for... Oh, this is still damage. Duh, right? Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Much better.
5,
It's social
6, 7,
damage.
8, 9, 10, 11. That...
Just like the damage I took in high school.
You take it late in these games.
So you chime in as over the conversation through the open line because the communication guy forgot to cut the comm.
The
Because it
communication
seems like
guy was the
someone over
first
there
one
agreed
started.
with you, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of armed people in the room with them, so they don't want to be too vocal about it. Eventually, there's a bit of arguing, but eventually you've convinced, if not the captain, who is very scared and wants to leave now, everyone else in the ship is telling him, no, our best bet is the Achilles. If we cut off from them, we're all dead. And if you touch that chair one more time, we're gonna shoot you. He's like, you hear a whimper, and they're like, acknowledge with your recommendation, Achilles. Carry on.
We have
It's like,
officially
nod back to the
spurned
commander.
a coup on board the Klingon vessel.
It's
Is
an
it the Klingon
Andorian
vessel? Andorian, excuse moi.
run by a Tellarite.
And a bunch of smugglers. So
Mhm,
just a
mhm.
piracy mutiny. When would that ever happen?
Yeah.
Never.
And
in my
unlike them, I will
defense-
actually mute our side of the channel.
In my defense, the token looks a lot like a Vorcha class.
Not really.
Andorians, Klingons, they look the same, really.
No.
That wouldn't be the counter.
I know what you mean. I'm just having fun.
I
I
mean,
thought that wouldn't be the
in
counter.
defense, they are both fucking battle crazy.
Hey now. No
They both
Klingon.
look like plus shapes from above, or like capital T's.
GM, I thought it wouldn't do the thing.
Oh, it won't take two.
Oh,
I
okay.
meant.
Okay. Fair enough.
Carry on.
Done. Either way, there you go, Captain. They won't do the stupid. He didn't explain what he was doing beforehand. He's like, the ship will no longer attempt to break away from us. For now.
Very good.
Apparently, we've been gathering ideas in chat.
I imagine there'll be a firefight on the bridge of that vessel before any decision is reached.
That's not ideal, but it keeps us from losing them for a little bit.
Meanwhile, Ben and I are just theory crafting.
Yeah,
Ty-
I'm
typing
looking
messages
over to
back
my
How stupid
science
you want to go?
engineer.
I mean, Sishrei would put forward the torpedo idea because that's something Penn would do.
Here's my thought. My thought is they're probably expecting us to try and pull either forwards or backwards on this. What I bet they're not expecting is for us to try going full perpendicular.
Yeah.
And I know she's not. Well, she's technically always active, but you did have Talora on the bridge with you. Because she was helping you figure out with created a what was it? The artificial singularity. Because that's
Yep.
100% a Romulan thing. So
Um,
she was just like, "You're brilliant."
Is there feasibility of using the attractant force here to slingshot us away
Yeah,
from
that's what I was thinking.
orbiting body?
If we
Because
pitch
if we
up
go
at
full
90,
if
we pitch up 90 degrees east, we could use both the pull of the gravity and our tangential vector or to sling us around.
Right, because if we manage to pull ourselves off course from center, we might just slingshot around the thing as opposed to falling directly into the middle.
Or we'll shear ourselves apart in the turn.
Yes! I didn't roll that
I mean-
earlier.
What are the structural stressors that the field is exerting on the ship right now?
Most would be shear stressors along the warping cells, and those things are designed to take a
RGR?
Roger.
The shields are holding though, with I think minimal strain at the moment.
shields.
Very good if you feel it.
Shields are holding. I'm just worried about keeping the engines on this hot this long, because after a while that he's got to go somewhere, and we're pretty good, and we're pretty useless at medium rare.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I think.
A
I mean,
shame we
it's.
don't have a Cardassian.
Hmm.
I mean, I think that's my best suggestion. I mean, the feasibility of it is down to the the theory behind it is fine, but
Did you say theory?
It's just, while we don't have particularly much time, we do still have time to run some basic analysis
correct. That's
rather
what
than
I'm
just
saying.
blindly attempting something.
I will
Like-
say this mechanically speaking. You
Yes.
can whatever plan you guys come up with, you all come up with, I rather should say, you can just make the attempt and you say, we're trying this. What's the difficulty? And I'll tell you. And good luck, as usually. Although you can always back off from a difficulty, and that difficulty is you just attempting it. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll work. It just tells you that the thing you're trying to do is that difficult.
Mhm.
Now, if you do scientific method, you can confirm a method to get that particular plan to work.
Oh, we
The
can
problem with that.
brute
Oh,
force it.
Problem
Hmm?
with that is that is
What?
scientific method takes time, which we don't have a lot of.
Sorry, I was just saying we could brute force whatever method we pick by scientific method.
Yeah, you can make because you can make something. You can figure out because if you do it off the elbow and do it like we're just gonna do that idea and go for it. It's like, well, it's this difficult. Hopefully, it works, and I'll figure out if it works for myself or not. But scientific method is no. Now these egghead Starfleet officers have all put it together and go, okay, we have the perfect air out of a balloon, reverse polarity nonsense, and go, this is how we can do it.
like
Mhm.
electric air in a balloon.
Which the counter would only start taking down at the third stage of scientific method when you're trying to chase that number. So that your first stage and second stage wouldn't come into it because that's kind of what you're already doing. You're already doing stage 1, stage 2. You're observing and hypothesizing, and now it's about testing. Is the third stage if you went through scientific method. So testing is the part that takes time. The first two are observing and hypothesizing are fairly quick affairs. It's the experimenting that's a pain in the neck. But it's up to you guys. I'm just letting you know mechanically where my head's at right now.
Mhm.
I
'Cause
have a question, Jam.
Go for it.
The cone we're trapped in,
Mm-hmm.
is it moving?
It's like a giant blanket or curtain or veil that's kind of fluttering.
No, I mean, is it traversing through an orbit? Because the black hole was rotating, and we had surmised previously that the ship was waiting for something to rotate like into a location. So are we orbiting in relation to a surface point on the black hole?
Surfaces are reachable, so
That
there's no landmark you can mark.
would require a check to confirm. I think I know what you're asking, but that would require a check of reason, science, difficulty. You're very close to what you're scanning, so I'd up it by 1, diff 1.
And we have a whole bunch of probes.
Science.
We do have deployed probes.
We do have a probe net around this thing. Was the thing as well.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't normally do this, but that's a good idea. Reason science, difficulty 0, assisted by sensor science. Though the only payment is that you will use up a wedge of time to check over the results of the sensors to confirm what you think may be happening.
Shall I?
Go for it.
Spending a momentum for a third die. Astrophysics focus.
I would say no.
Sensor operations.
Yeah. Other GMs out there, sometimes you just have to say yes. Sometimes it's just a good idea.
That is 5 hits.
So 5 momentum generated.
And I didn't generate any bonus, unfortunately. Oh, no, I do generate 1 bonus because of my science officer ability, but I can only use that to ask questions.
Yeah. The energy field. So you guys, for the purpose of my sanity and budget, I'm not showing us actually moving through space and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But you guys, this is the black hole is relatively stationary, but you guys would normally be pulled around an orbit like that.
Cool. That's what I thought, and I wanted to confirm that.
Yeah, and you are both kind of rotating around. The origin point, and this is why I wanted the roll, is that it is, in fact, not emanating from the planet, but through the planet. And then sensors elaborate on that as it's coming from the event horizon of the anomaly.
But that suggests that the potential to pivot the cone is fairly low.
Is there a question we want to ask with that?
Is the cone? Where's the cone in relation to the equator of the black hole? Because the black hole is rotating, there would be an equator and 2 poles, unless we can use as a reference.
I'm afraid I am not adequately educated enough to answer that question.
Did we ask if the movement is going to pass through any important phenomenon in space?
We didn't. No, that could be a good question.
Yeah.
Like, is there a more opportune point in the rotation to try something?
It was just my thought.
Alternatively, we could spend 2 momentum to make an opportune moment.
That is true.
Yeah,
Like, if
say
you want to cheese the system.
it passes near the gravitational point of a star or some, you know.
Well, the other thing you would do, because this thing's largely, well, I guess other things in space are moving around you. So, and you are in the Shackleton. So, I was gonna say it would have to be through some interaction with the planet, but that's not true because the Shackleton itself has various gravimetric eddies and electromagnetic fields that are chaotic. So, yeah, you could just get a lucky break in the storm that is the Shackleton, and the Shackleton might accidentally help you with this.
A gravitational eddy we can use to pull us out.
Yeah.
Or at least to help in the process.
You could create that advantage. You could.
Yep. Sure.
Oh, we don't have any momentum. Oh, no, it's under throttle. We do.
6.
I'm sorry. I looked at 10 and I was like, oh no, we don't have it.
Commander, it is possible that utilizing one of these gravitational eddies, we might be able to help push ourselves away, like hiding in the trough of a wave.
Feeling a banana.
All right.
How many more metaphors can we come up with this episode?
Hire us, Paramount. No.
We're gonna disappear like tears in the rain.
Oh, that was such a great line.
Oh yeah.
In context, I mean.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Very well. Let's see what it materially looks like to put this plan into action.
Do you wish to create that advantage, by the way? This is the time to do it if you're going to do it.
Yes.
Okay, it'll cost you 2. If there's a question Ven wants to ask about that previous scan, this would be the time to ask before we move on to scientific method.
Ven, do you have any ideas?
Can you just super quickly repeat the base information that you gave me?
So this wave, this is emanating not... it is like you're orbiting around it like this, essentially, and it's following along with you. That was the initial thing you guys were worried about. It's like, well, is that what's happening? It's like, yes, that is what's happening. And then I added, this thing isn't emanating from a point on the planet. It looks like it's coming from the planet, but it's actually piercing through the planet into the event horizon of the black hole. So it's emanating from, well, not the black hole, sorry, the anomaly, and it's emanating out from the anomaly through the planet to you and past you to that degree.
Yeah, it's like part of my thinking there, out of character, was because Thrall could not have this idea. was just like the energetic demands of a system that could also pivot would be a lot higher than if this is like a fixed beam. And a fixed beam would also line up with the fact that our quarry was sitting in a particular place in orbit waiting for some period of rotation to pass by, which I seem to recall from
Yeah.
last episode.
Yeah, you don't dodge the laser, you dodge the laser pointer.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't have anything super specific off the top of my head, but if any of you have something.
Let's see. Why is the planet not falling into the anomaly?
That's
Yeah.
a really good point.
That's a really good one.
That's the question you're asking?
Yep.
Yes.
Damn it. Cool. So it would
Damn it.
it would seem that it's not that the anomaly is happening. Let's put it this way: the anomaly is happening to these two ships, the Achilles and the Sundown. It is not happening to the planet. The planet is part of the anomaly. If the planet wasn't
Oh.
here, the anomaly wouldn't be here. And if the anomaly wasn't here,
planet's-
the planet wouldn't be here.
So like the planet is like a magnifying glass.
Yeah, you imply a distinction where there is none. Okay.
Interesting.
Mm.
That's why that question hit me in a way. I was like, that's a very good question, actually. It's a very probative question.
Look, I played a science officer. I didn't ask questions like that
Well,
at that
that-
point because I couldn't think of it.
Well, that circles us back to torpedoes, but that would also destroy the anomaly and prevent us from learning from it. But
I'm not a science officer, but I do play one on TV.
Do you wish to enter scientific method to figure out a way out of this?
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah,
not?
was gonna say,
I
could-
think.
while in scientific method, could we spend into half the time within it, or
You could. So when you get to the testing phase, you could spend each time you roll. You can spend a momentum to shave time off.
okay?
So it would take 2 rolls instead of 1 to progress the clock, for example.
Wait, are we going with the torpedo?
So first
check-
stage.
We're checking in all of them. I don't think.
First stage is observation. Are you doing engineering, science, or medicine observation? This will determine how you're coming up with your solution.
I mean, definitely science or engineering.
Yeah.
I think science is the more important part, understanding how this thing works and how it would interact with stuff. Engineering is just where we're going to point the engines.
I
Well,
require
it's also like, how are we going to make sure that this thing doesn't tear us apart as we?
Yeah, like that.
Like,
I feel like engineering
resist
could
gravitational shear.
still be I feel like engineering still could be a good direction to go in, because the thing we're trying to do, we have a pretty good idea of what we want to do here. Then put out basically the underlying theory of this concept of just gun our engines perpendicular to the thing and slingshot around and just completely slingshot around it. The question is the practical engineering problem of
Yeah, it's like
can
we almost kind of already
actually-
have the scientific theory.
Yeah, it's like, can we do it without like tearing ourselves to shreds?
Well, Commander, what do you think? Who's leading this?
I think this is an engineering thing.
All right, I shall engineer this.
Give me, at the observation stage, the person with the highest engineering, reason plus engineering, difficulty of 1, because this is very bizarre. This is a way to bulk up on momentum before you hit the stage, step 3.
Fast thinker trait.
Doesn't make it less bizarre, unfortunately. That will affect time later, but it won't affect this part of the roll.
Limit pusher.
Does not affect how bizarre the phanomena is.
Lateral thinking. We're
That
looking at this-
does. I was waiting for a certain one, and I knew which one it was. A diff 0,
Yep.
yeah.
Reckless.
Not at this stage.
And just for Just to be thorough, ADHD.
Wouldn't cut either way, I don't think.
All right.
Maybe comp increase, but even then, I don't think that would be enough of it. It seems too big a thing for your ADHD to distract you from.
Yeah, and I think personally this would be a big enough thing that ADHD would hyper focus on it.
Yeah.
Because ooh, shiny problem, give me.
Shiny.
You're not fixing a replicator because it gives tepid water. You're solving a bizarre physical phenomena. Like, okay, that gives different levels of focus.
I could argue that people with ADHD kind of thrive under pressure, but I think that's overselling it for our mechanical benefits. Just narratively, I'm having fun with this. Technical insight focus.
Given how you're coming at it, yep. The technical insight of your ship.
I know my ship talent.
Would tell you what's wrong with your ship. I don't think it helps here.
What's wrong with the ship is that it's moving. It ain't moving as it should.
Your ship ain't broke.
WD-40.
Your ship ain't broke. Someone's trying to break it. That is a different problem. Good try though.
I was just fishing for a bonus D20.
Oh, I know.
3 threat.
3 threat eye.
Let's get all that momentum we can. Hold.
3, 4, 5 momentum generated.
Yeah.
So you will have that float in the air because this is all part of the same roll, essentially. Is that me? No, it's not me. Okay. Brain power. Next step is hypothesize. Present 3 or more, at least 3 or more focuses you believe will solve the problem. Actually, one thing I will say that you may want to clarify with the GM and yourselves, what precisely do you want to get to work? What precise plan, well, not precise, but what in general, I should say, what in general plan are you hoping to do? Is that the slingshot idea, the torpedo idea? Going through it? I remember that was something you all said in chat.
I think the torpedo plan needs to at least be in the hat so we can test that if we need to.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that's our primary strat.
Slingshot, I think, is our primary one.
Okay, so how do we sum that up into a focus?
Yeah, now you have to figure out, well, you're trying to figure out which focus will make that work.
Yeah. Maybe like structural integrity fields.
Helm control.
Helm control seems like a good one.
Yeah, I was thinking, is there a focus for like difficult maneuvers, maybe?
Helm control, all as a focus.
Yeah.
So I'll write these down.
Cool.
Astro navigation. It's literally navigating. No.
Astronomical. Yeah, I mean, this is true. If you look at it, if you dissect the word.
Yeah, like it's literally that, but you know.
Yeah.
Maybe quantum field theory for the let's blow it up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Structural integrity.
It's probably best not to get too many.
Yeah.
3 to 5?
3 to 5. Integrity. I am not spelling that right. I don't care.
As long as it's close enough, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. We need structural integrity, not spelling integrity.
Yeah.
All right. So astronav for the slingshot maneuver of just dive into the planet and through it, quantum field theory to destroy the planet, and structural integrity for the lateral bank idea. Does that sound fair? That makes sense to everyone?
Makes sense
Makes
to
sense to
me.
me.
GM, I submit the hat. Is the focus in the hat?
One second.
Uh-oh.
Focus in the hat. Maybe.
I imagine at a table there would actually be a hat just
That
for
would be
scientific
great.
theory. I would
I
totally
want
do
that.
It's like the suggestions hat, but it's like instead of suggestions, it's just anyone. If you have any idea on how to solve the stellar phenomenon and save our lives, put it in the hat.
Mm-hmm.
And also having a whiteboard of traits.
Yeah.
You just write it down and have it next to your screen.
Inside the hat are a bunch of little slips of paper with focuses on them, and also just $20.
Also, just $20.
Yeah.
We bribe it.
No,
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
not a bribe. You put a bounty on the correct answer. Everyone puts an answer in.
Yeah.
No, I take a threat.
None of
Oh,
these
shit.
work.
That was a weird no.
I'll explain later why that no was like that, but it is a painful no.
So there's
Okay.
something close.
It might be that one of those answers would work, but the focus for it wouldn't, or the inverse of that.
Yeah, see, what I'm thinking is I'm thinking it might be. I think it might be that the astronav and the structural integrity might be flipped.
Maybe.
Or change
Um,
astronav for just helm control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to change. Okay. Home control.
And by
I think if we're gonna do this again, we need to change a bit more.
Agreed.
and by that logic, there's also something possibly wrong with the torpedo barrage parts.
Mhm.
Yeah. How do we want to approach that?
I was gonna say like quantum phase. We have specific types of torpedoes that
Yeah, we
travel.
do have quantum phase torpedoes.
Like quantum phase
So
technology.
quantum phase theory, or quantum phase tech.
Well, we've got something very particular, so why not throw it in there for shits and gigs?
Okay.
Maybe.
What about for the lateral bank idea? Because I was just kind of throwing that out. Or is, oops. All right, shift enter.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like lateral banks also helm control, just in a different direction. So maybe it's too close to each other.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm honestly at a loss. Can we run down the list of every focus that we've tried so far?
Well, so far we've tried astronav, quantum field theory, and structural integrity.
They're in the Discord or channel.
Oh. Control torpedo.
What if you put the lateral bank and slingshot together and just put maneuver our way out?
Yeah, so or like maybe not quite maneuver way out, but like use the force of the
Yeah.
anomaly against it, helm control.
fly our way out.
Yeah.
And then for the third one, maybe negative energy, just negate the field around us.
Like, you mean like do like a warp field or shield modulation of some sort?
Yeah, warp field shield modulations. That way, the of a field doesn't affect us, or it affects. Yeah, it doesn't affect us in the same way it doesn't affect the planet, so we can just move out at impulse.
Making the ship into a bar of soap.
Oh,
Jesus.
I've just had a weird idea.
I'll take it. Let's go.
So, this planet is from the other side, right?
Yes.
We've got quantum phase tech, and this power is phasing through a planet from the other side. So, can we change our
if we can
quantum
match the
signature?
phase A's, we can match the phase A's, and then it wouldn't touch us.
I will make a mention that we're holding that other fucking ship, and they can't do that.
Yeah.
So even if that is the answer, it helps us, not them.
Look, it was a cool idea.
Oh, it's a cool idea. I'm just gonna mention that before we do a
It's a good-
thing that just kills them anyway.
Good mention. Good mention.
That's just a complication on the track if we do go down that way.
Like,
Look,
there's also
we
the
have
potential that
we
us
have a
getting out
shrink
means
on
we
the
can
ship
pull
for a reason.
Okay.
Um.
Wow, when the Romulans the moral compass, what the fuck?
Yeah. Right. I don't know what to think about that.
Not even the
Anyways,
ship's counselor.
Moving on. I'm staying neutral in this conversation.
Okay, so what about quantum theory to match the quantum phase?
I prefer the idea of like trying to uh
Modulation?
modulation maybe.
Do we just want to put the focus
Like
on
ideal
modulation?
well, rather than like probably not modulation, but like I prefer the idea of trying to like slip our way out by making ourselves not affected by the beam rather than just like uh matching our phase to them.
So kind of like warp field dynamics.
Yeah, maybe like warp field dynamics or shield modulation.
I'll go warp theory because
Okay.
all right, so that's what I have so far.
Well, it wouldn't be to match the phase. We know this from our very first episode of the Kismet. It would be to find a
Counter phase.
a frequency that destructively interferes.
Okay, so find destructive. Find destructive.
I'm back. Realized I left my phone in the wrong room, so I had to go grab it.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Crew. Ooh, final answer. Anything else to add to the hat?
The only thing I would add to that is not ideas, but that the focus is not be dedicated to the plans.
Okay, how would you suggest we...
No, like when we put them forward, we're not saying we're only using this focus for this plan. We're just putting forward helm control or quantum tech. We're not putting forward like quantum tech just for barrage.
Okay.
Yeah, because that is an extra layer.
An extra layer of complication. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a self-inflicted extra layer too. It's not even necessary.
It is not required by by book to do that. Yeah. I do have.
But I was putting them down just so we can say, okay, we are checking like this vague plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
we hand the GM the hat?
Do you?
Hey,
Yes.
I'm good to hand the hat.
Yeah.
GM,
out
you
of
shall
it.
have this hat. Is
And
the answer
that.
in the hat? The answer's in the hat.
The answer's in the hat. Woohoo! There's also $20 in the hat. Just fish around a little bit. You'll find it.
It's Cantire dollars.
It's true. It's true.
I'm thinking based between the two, the difference of the two, Warfield dynamics is the most different. So should we chase that
Well,
first?
it also might be worth considering the fact that, remember, this is going to be an engineering solution.
True.
So that might
Okay.
help inform us.
Let's chase down
Um,
warp theory dynamics. Unless you have something to say, Thralic.
That's your scientific method. I don't have anything
I'm-
strong to say.
Okay.
The-
Warp theory dynamics. Let's start running.
The only
Alright.
thing I would put towards you is that it may not make any difference, but the ship does have a trait of quantum phase specialists.
Would that affect a roll for theory, GM?
Execution, yes, but theory,
Okay.
Because it'd have to be something specific for theory, and there's very few things in the game that do that. I think like research labs, the only thing that comes close to it.
Yeah.
Main roller obviously can roll for this. Anyone who has 2 or more in engineering can assist. The range is 1 to 10. If it's any higher than 10, we're talking super Iconian nonsensory. But 1 to 10 is the range that you're looking for. I'll either say
Okay.
yes, you got it, or continue.
Go fish.
Can traits modify that invisible target number?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Which focus are we focusing on first?
We shall do warp theory dynamics. I do not have that as a focus,
Neither do I.
but I do have the engineering score for it.
I was just gonna say, it's probably Talora helping with the role because Rylo's just trying to make sure these people don't do stupid. Just like sitting there quietly, like, okay, here, vaguely keeping them
Please-
informed, but not. They don't.
Yeah,
need to know
please help me
everything,
not
just
do
like-
stupid.
It's just like, no, I'm here. I'm still talking to you guys, just so that you know I'm still around, and I'm still listening. So don't do the stupid.
Yeah, I think Shishrei will help as well with an engineering of 3.
Okay.
I'll help as well. I've got engineering
Um,
too, so I can assist.
I'm gonna give you a 6 threat. Let's just shoot for the moon.
Can we stop blowing up astral bodies?
Well, I'm trying.
Wow.
I was gonna be like, can she use insight instead? But as her
You could,
happy
yeah.
reason- yeah, for the assist, because that's just one better. I'm like, yeah, why not? Look at that. She's helpful compared to the rest of you.
Hey,
I will say I do give Arlen a reroll here.
yeah, it's
I'll
Shishrei
take
got
it.
one.
Oh my goodness! Come on.
So what, we got 5? No, we got 1. 2.
And I'm also going to reroll my own die
We're at,
using maximized efficiency.
we're at 4, 5. Now we're at 5.
5.
5 for which one again? Sorry.
Warp theodynamics.
You may continue.
Okay, we'll do one more of this and then switch
One.
back.
Yeah. Let's do
Unless you
3
fit it.
threat.
We have momentum, don't forget.
Do you not want to use any of the momentum we have? We have 9.
Or 6.
Do we
Okay.
have 9? Why would we have
Free
9?
flow. We've not spent it yet.
We have 3 float.
Okay,
the
let's
GM
do
said
3 and
move
3.
into this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do 3 threat, 3 momentum.
Okay.
To give yourself a full mint.
Yep.
Mittens.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
Tragic.
And here's my bold. This is
Good
Thralic reroll for me.
job.
Reroll that from mine. Yeah, there we go.
Jeez.
Oh, I love when that happens. Here's the bold
That's
crit.
12 total now.
You may continue.
Okay.
Okay, so that's
Right,
not
time to
it.
switch tack. Let's try helm control.
I feel like that's
Uh,
a sure.
she does have a
She does have it.
a focus in it, but she would have to use engineering.
Yeah, that's fine, but she has
Yeah.
determinations as well.
All right, let's do. Sure, you take over. I'll help.
Well,
The research lead has to be the one who's doing the main
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
Well,
In scientific method.
Forget that then. One threat, two momentum. Let's go.
Can I roll under a 15?
I know. I'm in the same.
Don't worry. I'm keeping track because Talora's keeping track.
All right. Let me do bold and Throlix. Thanks for your roll for me.
That's 5.
5 total.
For which one again?
Helm control.
Helm control.
You may continue.
One threat, two momentum.
Yeah, now Ursus Ray can't hit it with a focus.
Yeah. That's how it be
Bold
sometimes.
and Throlix. There we go.
7, 8, so that's 13.
You may continue.
It's quantum phase.
And
It's
switch.
the last one we did. Of course.
The last place you look.
Yeah, very, very close to quantum field theory. Quantum phase tech. Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, which you have to have specifically that focus, correct?
And I mean,
Yes.
he did give us the it's a nearly focus last time, so
Mhm.
Yeah, we should have seen that coming. All right.
If we can use an adjacent focus, exotic energy source, but we can't.
Mhm.
3 threat. I'm gonna leave that.
Ah, yes, the fuck up fund. That's what that is.
The fuck up fund. Yep. And
That
bold.
one.
I'm not wrong.
And I'm keeping that.
yeah, it's 8.
Well beyond.
All right.
Oh, that's
So- The target was 3.
Of freaking course.
I blame Arwen.
Blame Arlen.
I like how like,
Go ahead.
we on our first 2 rolls we rolled like a 5, so it was like it's conceivable it's a little bit harder than a 5, and then we blew past the 10.
See, the thing that tickles me is Shishri would have put this idea forward, going, "No, this is probably it," but the captain would have put this idea forward. Wait, it's actually this idea. Don't tell him. Never tell him this was the answer.
We can never let Penn read this.
So the thing I was hung up on, and this is why I was looking up stuff and in the STA stuff, because I was trying to keep it within stuff that you would have access to. No one needs to have a master's in astrophysics, and if you do, I don't have it, so good luck. I read quantum field theory as akin to universal field theory, which deals with magnetics and field strengths and stuff like that, which wasn't quite what I was looking for. I was looking for something to do with shields or being able to affect the energy around you in particular. Shields or something along that line would have got it, but quantum phase tech is something that you guys can do. So that's why I was dying over there. I was like, that is so close. It is in the right ball. It's quantum. Yes, it's a quantum solution, the wrong kind of quantum solution. So I was kicking myself. Anyway, plus it was linked to you linked it to torpedo barraging. I'm like, that doesn't help you at all. That firing at it will not help, and quantum field theory wouldn't be the way to do it.
So tying the focuses to particular stupid plans we're doing hindered us. Yeah.
Yeah, they can inform whether I said out of the box or not. But if you happen to hit the focus in particular, it's on me to explain what your characters figured out. So, But anyway,
Explain the physics to us,
yes. So,
because I don't have a master's degree in quantum physics.
well, I have a master's degree in fake physics now. I gave myself the
Argue.
degree.
But do you have faith of the heart?
No, in the words of
I
the guy
have a
from Fall Out New
theoretical
Vegas, I have
degree
a
in
theoretical
physics.
degree in physics.
Yes. Hey, Jinx. I love that game.
Hey.
So, in particular, you have quantum phase specialists, and your ship has a unique quantum signature that is different from the existing signature around you. You're also able to manipulate the quantum signature of the ship a tiny bit through shield modulation, because you guys have proven that various shield harmonics can be done, even so extreme as affecting other layers of existence. Say, like the android.
Hyperspace.
Forgot her name. For the love of God.
Myth?
Myth.
Myth. God Almighty. The Myth shield.
Wow.
I was thinking
Wow.
lore was in my
She's
head the
right
whole
here.
time. I was like, lore shield? That is not correct. I know
Yeah.
that's not correct.
Look,
She's not important
I
enough
know
to
I
remember.
followed the naming scheme of data and lore, but like, sheesh.
But the mytholike shield does operate on another layer of reality that's separate from normal space-time, because you're dealing with the ocean of consciousness, which is you're interacting with another layer outside of your current space-time layer. So you can affect your shields in certain ways and phase yourself in a certain way to be, and someone said it, that you could make it such that this field just doesn't affect you anymore in the same way it doesn't affect the planet. So you could just make the field imperceptible to the shield, to the wavefront that's coming at you, and move around normally, because now the acting force can't act with you anymore. So if you phase shift your shields in a certain way to interact on the exact frequency that this thing's emanating at, you become immune to it. Now, someone pointed out, rightfully so, that there's a problem with that idea. The Achilles can do that because it has a unique quantum signature, it has unique shield harmonics, and it's a modern ship built with modern design, and it's been upgraded and refitted a bit. This ship is almost 100 years old. It is barely within code. This thing probably hasn't seen an inspection yard for almost 50 years.
No, it's outside
Unless,
of code. That's one of the things we caught them on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's literally not up to code.
so you'd have to go over there, install the relevant systems, which takes weeks to months weeks if you have a great engineer and a great engineering team. Maybe with a hero team like yours, maybe a day. You have
Okay, what if
way less time than that.
we pull the computer systems and evacuate the crew?
I was
How
just
long
gonna
does that
say,
take?
yeah,
Yeah,
surely we
let's
could
just
just
pull the-
transport all of them over.
Just rip the
We
computers
don't
out,
need the
because
ship.
that's the important part.
You could just extend the shield.
No, part of it is our hull as well.
Yeah, because that our ship is cool.
Yeah, they literally don't have the tech to emulate our shield tech, even if we walk them through it.
And I doubt our being able to move would permit us to move them.
'Cause
Yeah,
they would still be anchored.
my other thought was, could we like dock with them? But if it's our hull itself that's different, then yeah, I say we just tell them either get on board or I'll die horrifically.
You could the docking theory, it would work if they were a lot smaller than they are, or you're a lot bigger than you are. The problem is you're too close to each other in scale, that they would that part of their hull would poke out away from your shield bubble, and away from your shield. Like you would be able, like with a shuttle or small craft, you could just have it like that's how the captain's yacht work. They're kind of glued to the hull, so they basically are part of the hull. So in essence, they benefit from the hull's integrity fields. Your hull integrity field is like another shield yet again that keeps the ship from shaking itself apart. That's kind of the problem with them. They're too big. Because I think they're 4 and you're 5. I think that's still too big.
Yeah.
Let me check
Yeah,
though. I think that's
if they
right,
were
though.
3, could we do it?
They are scale 4. You are scale
5.
5. Yeah, you're too close. If they were scale 3, in theory, you could. Oh, you could do it. I'd be giving you all the complications in the world.
Yeah. Okay, so we just need some PIM particles.
I
Oh,
think we
Go-
need to evacuate them.
Yeah, no, that's what I was suggesting.
yeah.
Are you saying-
Commander, you work on evacuating, I'll work on modulating the shields.
Would likely need their cooperation first. Do you wish me to to reach that, given I'm already talking to them, or will you talk to them, Commander?
If you've already established communication, I don't see a point in disrupting that.
Lovely. Time for me with my amazing person skills to.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll
Your
assist
choice-
you here, but it's
Oh, yeah.
basically like introducing another face when they've already kind of trusted you on something, and I was the one who was like, "I'm here. I'm arresting you." Seems bad.
Yeah, true.
Ryloff, as you begin to
Yes.
get ready to talk to them, it appears that your sensors are detecting there's weapons fire and various energy discharges, large energy discharges, say walls being and plasma conduits being exposed to because they've been shot at. There's a full-on mutiny going on over there. There's a running gun battle all across the ship. And whoever's answering you is kind of busy at the moment.
Yeah.
I was just going to say I have both insightful guidance and diffuse the tension, so maybe I could help.
Oh yeah,
Perhaps.
definitely.
But Captain, it would appear the comment I made earlier about it being a limit of time before they start shooting at each other was 100% accurate, and they are presently shooting at each other.
All right. Well, there's
Are there shields up, actually, on that vessel?
Nope.
No. We could
Yeah.
simply start beaming them aboard, but we have no ways to tell at that point who's on what side of things, and it would potentially cause them to work together again.
On the other hand, that's less people we have to put in the brig. So that's one
you
problem
can disarm
solved.
them in transport, as
I
would
could
be
also-
standard operating procedure under this circumstance. Given
Ooh, maybe, possible.
Hmm?
We're transmitting, and the volume would be set on their end, but if we boost our volume loud enough, it wouldn't really matter. In the sense of,
No,
Me
because
right
their computer, you'd have to hack into their computers and tell their computer to go louder. You could transmit as loud as you want, but if their volume isn't turned up, then it just becomes it becomes inaudible.
hmm,
It turns into noise, basically.
okay, so that one doesn't work. Yeah, no, best option is probably just to beam people at this point.
Yeah, and there's
It's
there's
not-
like a standing transporter protocol. I think they even named it in one of the shows for like transporting people and disarming them in transport. Just
It's not a
screens for
standing
weapons.
protocol, but it's a standard protocol that you
Yes,
can invoke.
that's what I meant. Rather
Yeah.
standard, rather.
Standing. No matter
Yeah.
who comes aboard, kill their phaser.
Disarm
I'm an
them.
admiral, sir. You cannot disarm my phaser.
No, I just meant like his. Yeah, I meant
Sorry,
standard.
standing
like
order, sir.
It's in the computer bank. Says like, hey, select option B.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Veterans are sustaining it.
we've created the NRA's least favorite Starfleet vessel.
Yes, I am okay
Whenever
with
you
this
beam aboard,
development.
we take your guns.
Jeez.
They're coming for our guns.
Um,
Literally.
Yeah.
running firefight aboard, internal damage to the vessel, indeterminate amount of time, and indeterminate on which side is which side is coming up on top.
I mean, here's the fun option for that. You beam them all into a cargo bay and knock them out with gas.
Oh,
The
wait, BRB?
fun option.
I imagine changing their scenery would actually provoke a change in behavior. Preferably to calmer.
Yeah. That's why we just need to start playing some nice, like, operatic music. Let's beam them to, like, the Zen Garden, and they'll all come right down.
I was meaning a cargo bay with myself and a security detachment.
Oh, with guns pointed at them. Oh yeah, I mean that would probably get them to stop shooting too.
We wouldn't point guns at them unless they were posing a threat at that time. That is
You just
Starfleet
hold the
protocol.
guns in their general direction.
No.
No, you just have phasers,
Yeah,
and they don't.
exactly. That would be the intention. I would also suggest we grab cargo as possible from the vessel as a
Agreed.
proof of activities.
If we offload everything from the vessel that we can, get data banks if possible, get cargo and crew. Prioritize crew though.
And luckily,
I
we've got
shall-
Katal, who's very good at beaming.
I
Mhm.
will move to a cargo bay with my security team, unless there's anything else, Commander.
Negative. Go ahead.
Well, we have to wait a second for the GM to come back.
Yes, true.
Well,
But
I'm gonna go to the lab and pull off a miracle.
the lab.
All right.
Oh, the
What you doing in the
yeah,
lab?
Yeah.
The engineering lab, so I can read
Oh,
these
yeah, yeah.
shields.
Didn't you do that in the deflector bay or whatever we call it?
But I get bonuses if I'm in the laboratory.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
tactical system that you do from security, but yeah.
Well,
We're doing this as a
okay.
hardware rather than a software solution, so you have to go
True,
down
yeah.
there.
yeah,
Depends how
we
the
have
GM
to.
says it.
Arlen, you
Yeah,
have to get into the
absolutely.
EVA and go outside and start welding on the deflector dish.
Yes, get outside
Don't
in the
threaten me
middle of
with
all
a
of
good
this.
time.
I'll watch with popcorn. Step into the rainbow, Harlan.
That's such a good statement, and I like that it's literal too. But it also sounds like a. It also sounds like an insult.
It is a threat, not an insult.
Fair enough. Fair
I know
enough.
how to
Love you
take
too,
that.
Ryloff.
You are the bane of my existence aboard this vessel.
Really, I was trying to be the Joker of your existence.
Oh my god. Yeah. Forget the bat is broken. I'm broken.
No, I aim to be. I aim to be the raspberry seed in the wisdom tooth of your existence.
I will just familiarize Lieutenant Arlen with the maintenance cycle of an airlock and how it is very easy to spoof the logs on those.
Mhm.
And if the chief of
For
security, who's
informational
responsible for
purposes.
keeping track of the personnel aboard the vessel, just happens to not notice for a minute that you're missing.
Hey, all of this sounds like a Commander Thralic problem, because I'm not there.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, it is.
Well, I
It is a
mean-
me problem. We'll see
I
how
mean,
the situation develops.
Even if you were there, maintaining discipline amongst the crew is the first officer's job. It's not
Oh,
even
yeah,
my
it's-
job.
Who's the
I'm
current first
back.
officer?
So what's your
It is
plan,
Arlen.
folks?
I think we're gonna have
No.
some kind of civil war from what they were talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're spacing Arlen.
Yeah, we're sacrificing
reenacting
Arlen and
Marvel
hoping
Civil
that
War?
would work. Yeah.
No, Rylov was going to head to a relatively empty cargo bay or similarly large area on the ship, because I imagine we've got something like that, where we're just going to dump people. Because
Okay.
there's no reasonable way to contact them on that ship. Like, we don't
If you
have
in-
their communicators.
If you inform Asa about this, she would like to go to keep to give medical and mental health treatment and to keep tensions low because she
Oh,
knows
yeah,
you're
Go with them.
Yeah, sure. go.
okay.
It's like, you can come. It's like he's not drawing phasers. He's just kind of like,
Yeah.
stand around the room, and if they come at you, then sure. But if not, then you're just there because they're shooting at each other. We want to make sure they don't continue to wail on each other when they're here.
Yes, when they materialize without their guns, we want to make sure they don't get into a fist fight.
Yeah, or a tentacle fight, or a claw fight, or whatever they might have.
Yes.
Because if one species just had hands and the other one has rat teeth, that rat teeth has an advantage now.
This is true. These are the things you have to think about if you're in security.
It is. I'm not even being facetious.
No?
Yeah,
For what?
Asa is trying to figure out like the physical anatomy of a species that has teeth for hands.
No, rat. That wasn't for hands, but yes. So I'm sure
That's a
there's
horrifying
species that
image.
has like tentacles with teeth, like mouth hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Lieutenant, but you appear to have encountered some strange creatures in your day.
And subjugated them, yes.
Yeah, I think they
One of
wanted
them we call the Remans.
they wanted
Sorry.
the people,
Wow.
the cargo, and the data core.
Yeah, people, cargo, data core is the plan.
Like in that order too, I think, isn't it?
Oh,
Basically, yeah.
I mean, if you want to keep throwing up the diff, by all means.
+2 because you're getting cargo and the data core.
And people.
Okay, I'll grab guitar, as I'm the NPC today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me grab this.
Deal. Well, actually, might be able to just add a icon on the side here. I'll do it. Yeah.
Spend a determination.
To what value?
Well, all three fit, but moving things is my job. I like a challenge.
I like a challenge. I'll take.
Focus in transporters.
Yup.
Luckily, I've got meticulous, so I can negate a comp if one comes up. And I'd like to give you 2 threat to reduce the difficulty by 2. Because that transport chief talent is actually decent. Right, so 1 threat, 2 momentum. Oh no, I've spent the determination. 1 and 1. Because Meek can. I have a reroll. So that's...
Daring the same as control?
Oh no, it's too low. Jeez, I thought it was control. Jesus.
10 would have made it anyway. 10 would have made it anyway. 13,
Yeah.
I think, would have made it.
Well, it's up to 14 instead of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I hit daring, but no, I double clicked control like an idiot.
Sensor engineering for the ship. Same comp range.
Gotcha.
And I think meticulous and squash a comp for the ship as well, so it's handy.
Nothing from the ship.
That's 5 hits on a diff 3.
Alright.
Click. After a series of beams into the cargo area, you're able to decrew the Sundown. There's now a lot of people in this massive room with Ryloff and Asa who are very confused and very angry.
And there's a security team. There's like 6 of them, so there's like 8 people there.
Yeah. Can I spend momentum to have like a megaphone or a space megaphone so that when I speak, they all have to listen to me?
You could do that, yeah.
Okay. How would that cost momentum for like an advantage?
It would cost 1 because of the item.
Okay. Yeah.
You're paying opportunity cost. So.
Okay. I'm going to speak into the megaphone and say, welcome everyone. Please remain calm and non-violent. We are rescuing you from your ship before it is destroyed by the spatial anomaly. We are attempting to salvage as much of your personal belongings and your ship's computer core as we can. If you need medical treatment, I am here for you. Something like that, just to keep them calm and not violent.
Presence command, difficulty 3.
Okay, for the first time, I've had this value on 2 characters. This is the first time I'm using it. Diffuse the tension. Can I say that if I'm helping inspire them not to start hitting each other or me, that triggers?
Is that a name of value or?
Diffuse the
Talent.
tension is a talent. Sorry,
Oh,
it gives me a bonus die. I can post the description.
Please do. I'm struggling to find it.
It's in.
It's when you, that.
I get a bonus d20 whenever I'm convincing someone to
Oh
not
hell!
resort
Wow,
to
I
violence.
have not seen that in forever. Heck, I barely use the thing. Yeah, no, that would totally fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
Brennan has that.
It's not great from a gameplay perspective, but I like it from like this feels like what the character would have perspective. Okay.
Mhm.
Can I spin you a focus for empathy if I'm trying to relate to their struggle and tell them that everything's okay and we're doing our best to help you?
Totally.
Okay. Empathy. So does that mean if I want to buy a fourth dice, it's 2 momentum?
Yes, because your first die is always the cheapest
Okay.
one.
Okay. Presents. I didn't know. Right. Because, okay. Even if it was free. Okay. I
Yeah,
will spend 2 for 4 dice.
2 what?
Momentum. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I don't get a free reroll because this is not.
Don't worry, I was going to suggest Relevant Assist anyway, given he was talking to them before. So
Oh
he's
yeah.
basically hoping, like, so I hope the fucking guy on the bridge I was talking to is here.
Mhm. Okay. Can Rylop assist then?
Totally can.
Which is still presence command, I assume.
I mean,
Yeah.
could try and play for presence security.
If you're intimidating them into nonviolence,
He is not at this time.
they will know our peaceful ways by force.
That is option 2. Believe it or not, he does have a step-by-step guide on how to de-escalate or disarm. I mean, technically, if they're stunned and on the floor, they're disarmed.
I mean, they're already disarmed.
Yeah, I think
No,
it's
unless the transporter chief made some real boo-boos, I think they still have their arms.
Nope, that did not. Wow. That
yeah,
was
I
a
think
high
that's called de-escalation through escalation.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this is the Cold War. We just need more nukes that'll make less war.
It is
Yeah.
exactly Starfleet's doctrine, though. Talk to them. If they refuse talking, stun them, because stunning's non-lethal.
Mhm.
Okay, I have the value. Sometimes you have to help people who won't help themselves. These
Mhm.
people are not helping themselves, and we're
100.
helping them by force. Okay.
Well,
Wow,
Rolling-
not sure about the underlying philosophical.
Isn't quite what's going on.
but I will
Uh,
take that value as it is read. Yes, for the
Okay.
purposes of your reputation.
2 threat. I mean, sorry, 2 dice. The 2 zeros.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Now roll for me 6 challenge dice.
I will do that. 6 challenge dice.
God,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yep,
Ace
as long as
is
you get
so
5 or more, that's good.
bloodthirsty.
Yeah, you're able to convince them that you understand what they're going through and all that sort of stuff, and you are here to help, and you have that very authoritative tone. But it's not a "we will shoot you." It's "we're trying to help you, so please stop attacking each other. If you need help, the help's over this way where the megaphone is." It's like, oh, well, never mind then.
Yeah, you don't need to fight over escaping with your ship, because you're not on your ship anymore.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
the
made this decision for you.
Yeah, the mutiny
in
has
that
succeeded. The mutiny has not succeeded, but it also the purpose of the mutiny also was still fulfilled. Like we were mutinying because we wanted to participate with the Starfleet officers. Starfleet officer helped. Fighting anymore is kind of pointless now. So the people who kind of started the mutiny are like, hey, we're done fighting now that we realize what's going on. And the people who were mutiny trying to defend the mutiny were like, well, there's nothing to defend. We're not on our ship anymore. So we're our fight's kind of. I mean, they could fight the Achilles, but that's not. They really that decision of fighting the Achilles that was off the table a while ago. That was off the table last episode.
And fighting the Achilles to what end? To beam back onto their
Yeah.
own ship to continue the previous fight? Okay. Last thing is I want to begin surveying them. Does anyone need extreme medical care before we start sending the injured to sickbay?
I will take momentum to answer that question for you without. I
Uh,
don't.
Sure.
Um, some people start coming up to you, and a certain number of them require aid. Oh, 5% of them have some level of injury that requires aid. Lots of stuns and bruises, but nothing that was life-threatening. Actually, let me check. Was it life-threatening? Probably not. I'd have to roll. Very unlucky for that. Nope. Some people have like a couple people have broken bones, but modern medical science can easily deal with a broken bone or two.
Okay. In that case, I will. Can I have a couple security officers escort them to medbay?
Totally.
Okay, and that's what I will do.
Yeah, they're probably going to be different officers than the ones in the room because it's already like only 6. 7 if you count Rylov. It's like,
For momentum and a threat, you can have a escort detail come along.
Okay. Actually, no. You know what? I'll. Asa will say, "Okay, I trust that you have this now, Lieutenant," and she will escort the people to medbay.
Yeah, easily done. These people, they come forward. They're eventually brought forward, and people who everyone's ambulatory, so the people who have broken bones or whatever, they can still kind of move along with you. And people have like bad legs. Other people just kind of go, well, okay, then we'll kind of give you a shoulder and we'll kind of help you along to until some helpful Starfleet officer goes, we have stretchers. You can totally just carry them on that. Oh hell, we'll just do that.
Now,
You have
oh, sorry, never mind.
just gonna calm
All
to the
right.
bridge. Personnel, cargo, and core secure in Cargo Bay 4. Ready for maneuvers.
Confirmed.
New scene. As we cut to the bridge.
Which he was very careful in saying personnel, not prisoners, in front of all of the people.
Yep.
We have acquired the assets in a coercive manner.
My favorite thing in some SWAT video games is you neutralize the target, which is how you would say it, but it's like neutralize? What does that mean? Either they're dead or they're injured and not fighting anymore. Either way, they are neutralized. Yikes. All right, well.
They no longer provide a threat.
Yeah, we have rendered them into Swiss people. They are now neutral.
That's what Rylot would say as well. Also, the Swiss are anything but neutral.
Quite neutral.
Hmm.
Neutral in the fact that they aren't moving anymore.
All right. All right, Achilles crew, what you doing?
I think it's Arwen's time to shine, right?
Yeah, I think Darwin's up now.
Yep, I'm gonna pull off a miracle.
Okay, how are you gonna do that?
I am going to adjust the shield modulations to change our quantum phase frequency to match that of the planet.
I believe you said you were going down to the engineering lab to do this.
In theory, it kind of depends on how this task is presented.
Yeah.
You could do it from main engineering.
Okay.
That would affect the roll.
Yeah, I would want to do this from engineering.
Okay, I'm gonna pulse down engineering then. I presumed the bridge, that was my mistake.
I think he said I'm going to engineering while you were BRB.
Yeah. That's why
that's
I
fine.
reiterated it.
All right, your main engineering, you go to one of the work areas. You can choose any one you want, really. Because there's 4 chambers to the warp, to the engine block, wrong game, to the engineering bay.
So sad we don't have we have regular warp core now. So sad.
I mean, give me a bit of time and I might find new applications for quantum phase crystals.
Mhm.
All right, so you're looking at control engineering difficulty of was going to be 3, 4, 5. 5 assisted by structure plus engineering. The increased difficulty seems to emanate as you get down to engineering and you start, and actually the diff comes back down again because you're doing it from main engineering. So originally it was 3 just because of it's an unusual modulation of the shields, but it is something the ship can do. The fact that you have a because of the traits that you have, this particular solution is possible. So they didn't affect the difficulty that way. They just made it a Div 3 task that was something you could do. It's something the Enterprise couldn't do, for example, or the Voyager or the Cerritos, that sort of thing.
Special.
So the increased difficulty comes from the fact it seems that someone on the other side seems to be guessing at what you might try to do. And they're beginning to put in countermeasures by trying to modulate the quantum phase frequency, which that doesn't make it impossible, but it does make it more difficult. The difficulty comes back down to 4, though, because for main engineering, you have a lot more direct, almost analog access, if not actually straight up analog. Like if something doesn't physically work on your keyboard on the interface pad, you could literally climb a ladder, go into a tube, almost immediately be where you need to be to do something. So it is Div 4 that way. Do you wish to involve your engineering teams in assisting with us?
Yes, please.
That turns into Div 3 because now you have a team of engineers helping you.
That's just given me a fantastic idea for like an information spend.
Mhm.
That's a brilliant idea.
Well, the DM just mentioned that someone is purposely trying to countermeasure quantum phase variance. Something very particular to us. Meaning, someone is
Something's targeting us.
Yeah, that is a very specific thing to try and counter. So, is it possible to glean information through this task and through the wormhole? Like, if we pick up information of
You could ask information if you succeed at this roll. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what I was thinking of. Like, that's a very particular thing.
I will keep that in mind. Let's see. Any other air traits I can throw?
I will note at this point, Faststicker is allowing you this first roll at least to not cost any time. It won't count on
Okay.
against the clock because you're kind of thinking ahead what problems you might run into before you run into them.
Excellent. Also, ADHD as a trait. I am hyper focused on this task. Nothing's distracting me from this.
Or is it?
Let me just roll something. I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Div 2.
Limit pusher or lateral thinker.
Lateral thinker will bring it down.
Okay.
Limit pusher won't because you're of all. If this is any other ship in the fleet, you'd be limit pushing. But this is something that only the Achilles can do current in the fleet. The very unique power that ability that it has pre-built into it.
All right. Tinkering focus as I'm trying to calibrate the quantum and signatures are just the right tone.
I take that. That makes sense.
All right. Do we need momentum, guys? Do I want to lean into this, or should
I say go for it.
or should I save some for or later for when that threat dumps?
Well, I know I put forward like one question, but if we get a lot more, we're still possibly gaining information from a different universe.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay. With luck and practice, there are no limits.
I'll say again, sorry.
With luck and practice, there are no limits.
I mean, that's a good nice quote, but that's a value you're quoting. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, when can nice quotes be used in this game, huh?
Yeah. Sorry.
Specifically for values.
Slow uptake
Yeah.
on me. I was like, why is he quoting at me? Oh, right, that's a value thing.
Well, because of that, I'm using tinkering as a focus, and I spent a value on it. I also can use the Cochrane Medal of Excellence. I now have 2 instances of a determination spend on this.
Isn't that linked to a particular? Oh, it's tinkering is what you have a medal for.
It's linked to tinkering.
Yep.
Which is what I'm using.
Gotcha. Right.
So that's 4 hits already.
Or 2 hits and a reroll. Or 2 hits and an advantage. Let's spend.
You would. I would just to clarify on that. You would use it for different. You get 2 spends, but they have to be different things. So you couldn't double up on the same thing.
Yeah. That's how I read
Well, sorry.
it
Put it the other way around. Sorry. You can't use it to get multiple auto ones because you can only get that once for a roll. But you can create multiple advantages or complications for the other side, that sort of thing.
Okay, so let's put one. Let's use 1 as an auto 1. Spend 2 threat for or 3rd dice in the bold.
I mean, you could spend the second or the advantage to make it like a high fidelity information gathering.
Possibly I want to keep that in the chamber just in case I really biff this. But if it still stands at the end, I can spend it for an advantage to get a high fidelity advantage.
Yeah, because the advantage can happen at the end of the roll. That's true. Yeah.
Do I want to use Starcross?
I mean, it sounds like you're already putting everything into it, so why not?
Yeah, let's go ham. Starcross, double focus range.
If you get all 20s, I will laugh so hard.
If you get us all
Please,
20s,
dice
just
gods.
leave it.
Well, dice gods, you can go to hell.
Oh my god, they're nat ones too.
For the love
So I have
of
3
Christ.
nat ones.
Oh, that's
And
almost
that's an
worse.
8, so that's 4. So
Ooh,
that's 4 crits, so
eight.
that's 8.
Roll the ship.
On a diff 1.
Just obliterating this roll. Thank you, ship. Thank you for your pity 0.
So King 7.
0.
So you gained 5.
7.
7.
Oh,
'Cause
right, 7. You're right.
We
Yep,
brought it down to diff 1.
that's how math works. You're right. Do you wish to do anything with your second determination spend, essentially, because of the medal?
Second determination spend, let's create the advantage of high fidelity information of the quantum phenomenon as we are trying to break away from it.
So, you in fact get a rather, as part of this phase, you also have the benefit of having a rather in-depth, detailed scan of the entirety of this phenomena as it's occurring to you, and as you're interacting with it. So you're kind of doing a twofer in the same breath. And the ship, in fact, all of a sudden you hear the of the roar of the ship. And then you see various alarms roaring across the ship as it looks like you are about to have a catastrophic warp acceleration incident. That is to say, you were going super fast, as fast as you possibly can, held perfectly still, and you're about to be poof, fired like a dart because you never slowed down this whole time. You can't just fire off a dart. It's just the structural integrity field might be tested because you're going from 0 to warp 9 point. Oh god.
So, in other words, as we hit the ground down at warp 9,
Yeah.
or we hit subspace at warp 9.
Do you wish to do anything about that, or do you trust your ship to weather the storm?
To momentum to create the advantage edge to throttle up along with our quantum, to throttle the engines down and throttle back up as we're dissipating in the field, so that way we match acceleration.
That's a good answer to that problem. Yep, that works. So I need to take you back to here. Oof. And you kind of slow down, and this thing kind of drifts and disappears. Actually, sorry, did you let go of it while you were tractoring it, or did you hang on to it while you warped forward?
Oh,
That was in my department.
yeah, I think we were letting it go because we took the supplies, the data core, and the people.
Yeah, it was scrap.
It would have been released as soon as we began phasing. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure. So it's like you, as fast as you dart forward, it vanishes almost instantaneously. Actually, if this was shown in the show, it'd be woo, and then the whole ship stretching out and warping into strings, and then the other ship kind of starts doing the same thing but in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was exciting. Information and spend. Does the quantum signature of this phenomenon match any known or anything that we're familiar with?
Let me think. No.
That does tell us something. Does it look to be intelligently or sapiently controlled, or is it a natural reaction?
1 moment, I'll be right back.
Now it's just gonna be like, okay, we've got away. Now what the hell do we do about this?
Yeah.
I'm back. I believe the question was, is it intelligent or sapient on the other end?
Yeah.
That is a yes.
Aha!
I mean, can we see it?
Can we?
With the advantage of high fidelity sensors? Or high fidelity readings?
I would hand you the momentum back because your high fidelity sensors is getting you this, not what's through there. You'd have to be on the other side of there, basically.
Could we spend to create the advantage that as we're disrupting our field, it just disrupts the rest of the field so much that it causes a feedback loop on the projector side and yanks them into our universe?
No.
Well, I tried.
Because if anything, the whole point of your shield modulation is to make yourself not interactable with you don't want to interact with the energy field at all. You became neutral to it. So as far as the field was concerned, you stopped existing. If you the
It
minute you start
basically created
interacting
a
with it, then you're
pocket of
then you're
destructive
screwed.
interference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're interacting with it at all, that's a whole different problem, and then you're back to where you were. We'd have to rewind a bit. So no, I doubt you want to do that.
Nope.
Ah, just throwing food at myself. Don't mind me, everybody.
Try not to.
I've got one for the quantum phase aspect of it. Are these similar quantum phase techniques that we would employ?
I'll spend it.
Yes.
So someone like us or someone exactly like us.
Well, as far as I know, no one else has figured this type of tech out. And it's not widely available, so this is good chance either it's us or it's someone who's got their hand on quantum phase crystal.
Mm-hmm.
It does tell us something.
Ralph's probably been trying to figure out if any of the people he was talking with on the bridge are actually here and alive.
Insight or reason plus con or security, difficulty of 1. Assisted by a ship's computers plus relevant department.
Okay. I have all my various traits.
Oh hell! Your security detail brings a security roll down to 0.
Yeah.
That just occurred to me.
I think it's paranoid, raising, lowering.
Comp
Anything?
increase.
Yep.
One of these days, I'll have paranoia raised difficulty. I just can't think of one at the moment.
Oh, you've had paranoia raised difficulty before.
Have I? Oh, okay, I feel
Yeah.
better now.
Several times, actually.
Oh, okay.
You just need Rylov to be engaged in more trust falls.
Listen, at
I
some
remember it
point
happening
might get-
during like.
I was gonna say at some point it might get changed to healthily cautious, but at the moment it's not healthy. So,
Hmm.
I'm going to say Romulan just because you mentioned there were Romulans on this ship before, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing for him. Same with the defector trait is also a thing that exists there. So,
It does help. Gives you 1 free hit.
oh, okay.
The Romulan part does, because the person you were talking to, the main point of contact was a Romulan you were talking
Oh,
to.
because the comms guy just happened to be a Romulan. Nice.
He's like, I agree with you, fellow Romulan. Unfortunately, I'm not on a Romulan ship, so I kind of have a problem at the moment.
Yeah, and I'll just give you a threat for the thing I'd normally give you a threat for, which is bold.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had some secret deal with the GM, and I was like, what are you
me too.
talking
I was
about,
like, wait,
buddy?
what?
I have many secret deals with the GMs. You don't know any of them.
That's why they're secret.
Yeah.
Except for the ones I told you about, but don't tell him I told you.
Well, the ones that they've been told about are the ones that came out in the open, like when Varder's just popped up and started nerking people.
Good roll for Talora.
Yeah, I forgot to change the name. But that's why bold exists. There we go.
So 2 momentum generated.
Yeah. 3. It was a
Three,
diff
sorry.
0 and I had a free hit.
That's true, yeah. Oops. Clicking on things is hard.
But I feel like people appreciate having some momentum around.
Yeah, we have full pool right now.
Yeah. It's partly just, man, it's really odd to see that Romulans on an Andorian ship under a Tellarite captain.
Yeah.
Says the Romulan on a Federation ship serving under an Andorian and a Tellarite.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that's normal. Because I'm in a similar position, I can tell you it's weird.
Yeah, fair. Look, the Tellarite here though is culturally Andorian, so you know.
That makes it even weirder, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's more of like a, well, we were kind of cooperating beforehand, so let's just figure out who the person we were getting along with roughly was.
You are able to, after looking through your inventory list of the various people who came aboard, or crew manifest, better way to put it, very different way to put it, you are able to pick out Comms Officer Neoli, which isn't an official military title. It's just that's who the comms officer was. It was Neoli.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, Neoli is a very frontier name. It's not a Romulus name.
I mean, so it's Ralph, so.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think I'd see a Ramen in a Starfleet uniform in, well, my lifetime. So.
And I didn't particularly think I'd see a Romulan on a 100-year-old Andorian ship. So
Well, we each find our occupations when it isn't to the whims of the Senate or the spooks. He says a derogatory term for Tal Shiar. I just can't think of a good one right now, so spook will fill in for that.
Yeah. I don't suppose you would be willing to tell me exactly what was going on. Because it's not normal to see a ship hovering half out of a spatial anomaly.
You're actually Federation. You're not just naval.
No, I managed to defect several years beforehand due to the Helshiar's particular involvements and interests.
So this means Federation law would apply in our conversation, right?
Yes.
I want immunity, and I'll tell you everything. Otherwise, I'm not saying a thing. I'm not getting myself incriminated because I have. He grins. Rights, as he finds that mildly amusing. Because in Romulan legal terms, he wouldn't have that protection.
Mm-hmm. That does apply
In
for...
Romulus, you only have wrongs.
Yeah, you just have to prove why it's not wrong.
You're
always
rights,
wrong.
It's just the right to not oppose the Tal Shiar.
Yeah.
You have one right, the right to do as you're told.
Essentially.
I mean, you could freely choose to disobey, just you just have to take the consequences for it.
Yeah.
But it's up to you, officer.
It is. Well, up to my commander, and I can. This is Lieutenant Rylov to Captain Thralic.
This is Thralic, go ahead.
Permission to grant 1 times immunity in exchange for a... I don't know, a confession isn't the right term.
Testimony.
Testimony. In regards to the actions of the late SS... I forget the name of the ship. The
Sundown.
Sundown, yes. In terms of the actions of the late Sundown and its crew.
I trust your discretion, Lieutenant.
Thank you, Captain. Just tap the badge. Had tapped some things. This is where we find out it's like there's some Federation lock on his ability to do this. They've already restricted his access to
only
the file.
when doing it to other Romulans.
Yeah.
Well, we don't want him serving as a Romulan pipeline. No.
That is unless you would rather speak to the state.
I'm willing to agree as a private and independent spacefarer with the United Federation of Planets
Very
through
well.
its agent of Starfleet, I think is the correct legal terms. I haven't read it in a while.
You would be correct, and he'll turn the pad around and hold it out to him.
He'll read it over and then he'll touch his thumb to it for the bioreader to see a signature.
Does he actually have a signature? Or is it creating it now?
It's creating it now. Basically, it scans his biometrics and it says, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is the person who said yes to this agreement." It's like press thumb here if you agree,
Yeah.
or press thumb here if you don't agree. That way, either way, your signature is yes or no.
Pretty sure he wasn't in a Federation database before now.
The computer logs independent Romulan spacer number as found on Achilles on certain star date. So he has a file name now. And he
Is
does
the
pop
file
up.
name Steve?
Apparently, he has been arrested several times for various crimes in Federation space.
Not
He has
shocking.
no standing warrants at the moment, but
Oh yeah, that's not shocking at all. He knew the jargon to use, so it was like,
you actually see a couple of immunity deals he's actually done before.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
done this before.
yeah.
Oh god damn it!
Makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, Ralph kind of expected this. He was
It's
like,
endlessly frustrating. Yes.
So I was hired to work on the Sundown because apparently we were picking up some supplies from someone here in the system, and we were going to go to some coordinates. I can type those out for you. If you give me a pad, anybody. But the one of the security guards just kind of shrugs and hands him a pad, like a regular writing pad.
yeah.
He types it out to these coordinates. And we were supposed to deliver something from here, these coordinates. Someone was supposed to meet us here, or we were supposed to meet them here. Rather, we would wait here. They came to us, and then we would head off to the second coordinates and hand off the goods to the people we're selling to. I didn't expect us to be sitting over whatever the hell that was out there. I was supposed to make regular updates as to our status and anything we detected while we were waiting for arrival, and I was supposed to beam it into the anomaly, for lack of a better word.
Artificial singularity.
Yeah, okay, if you say so. That would explain a lot, actually. But anyway, yeah, we were supposed to get some certain materials. Let me write those down for you. I don't know every one of them, but I know a couple that stood out to me because I figured I was going to have this conversation the minute you showed up, so I thought I'd look it up.
Well, we do also have the cargo aboard this vessel.
Oh, well, we don't have the payload. They never delivered to us. Oh, did you get our data core?
Yes.
Oh, it's in there then. I can write it out if you want for the testimony, in case they wipe it or something. But
it would
want
be
me to do
useful in a testimony.
Sure. He types it out. Yeah, no, it's. I did find it's part of the. I don't know how they got the ship. I was hired on back in the Alpha Quadrant, and then we came across through Romulan space, and then came out through the Iconia frontier near what's it called? The Tyrelia sector. But they hired me out of the you know, the one where the Pollux system, or the Pollux sector. When he says that, you as Brahmins go, oh, you both know what he's talking about. But you know, for Starfleet, that's not the relevant sector. Starfleet would call, or the Federation would call it, the Orion sector.
Yeah.
But the Romans don't care about the Orions, and they don't recognize the Orions as an independent polity. So it's the Pollux system because they are petty like that.
Exactly.
It's been centuries. Now we still don't recognize you, but we have a government and everything. Yeah, so do mobs.
I can't.
We're not all
wait
mobsters.
For Rylov to have said the Pollux sector in front of Jaishu at some point.
Yeah. Oh, you're from the Pollux sector. Excuse you, Romulan? Oh, Orion sector, right.
Not exactly.
But yeah, no, it was going to be a good payout because going from one quadrant to another, plus monitoring various comm systems, and then I had to watch for Starfleet channels, which that was a heart attack I didn't need. And then when you showed up and started talking to us, I knew we were done.
A retrofitted 100-year-old missing Andorian warship with the torpedoes still.
I'm surprised they smuggled those torpedoes. I'm not quite sure how they pulled that off. I do know that the upgrade to the subspace transceiver is something I insisted on once we passed through the Terralia sector, because I mean it worked. The one they had worked just fine, but if we wanted to hear your frequencies like modern Starfleet ones, we would need a better transceiver to pick that up and jam it if we needed to, which I was supposed to do that, but you kind of beat me. You beat us to any real opportunity to lock you out. And frankly, even if I did lock you out, all I would be doing is locking us out from calling for help. Not that we could anyway. The only help supposedly we were going to get was from somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Probably from the Singularity, since that's what grabbed the both of us.
In a strange manner, it did. It's a whole lot of scientific and engineering terminologies that I only half understand myself. Could you go through this list of the crew recovered and identify the other bridge officers, just in case they've decided to try and say they're a crewman instead?
Oh, easily. I have to
Just
sit
to
with those
avoid
idiots
that
every day.
particular thing later.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I will warn you, the computer core might be damaged a little bit. Once the mutiny started kicking off, some of the old guard and hell, some of the mutineers started rubbing out their records to try to hide who they were. I thought of doing that, I'll admit, but then I realized you have me on file, so you wouldn't recognize me right away. But then after a call back to Earth or wherever, you would have figured me out anyway. So there's no point in me rubbing out my name. But people who aren't in your records might have gotten away with it. I don't know. But I can testify to all the officers. I know who all they are in the entirety of the communications department. As small as it was. The security officers around you who are watching this conversation are just kind of stunned at how incredibly frank he is about this.
yeah.
It's like, wow, he's not sweating this at all. Like, okay, part of it is that most Federation citizens are used to such blatant criminality. But on the other hand, it's also most of the time these people have fought are like Klingons or fighting tooth and nail and fighting to the death. This guy's just kind of like, okay, sure. Like, oh,
Yep.
someone is just using the law to their advantage. That's annoying, but also refreshing.
It's annoying but refreshing. It's also like, why would he do this? Because he's not at risk of being put in a cell and forgotten. Or just shot or reprogrammed or any other horrendous thing. It's like, no, this is far better.
I mean, I could just surrender to you and I'll be perfectly fine and protected. Oh, I surrender.
Like, this is actually kind of what we hope people do.
No.
Yeah. Well, to some extent. It's like the abuse of the law, maybe not, but
I'd be correct in assuming that the mutiny simply started between those who are willing to listen and those who wanted to attempt a breakout.
Yeah, well, some people, the captain yelled mutiny several times. At first, we just let it go, but some of us started. He started making communications to some of his loyalists to start purging anyone from the new hires, so like me. And that's when we decided to attack them before they could attack us and try to seize the ship, which he had a lot more of his trusted crew than he did. But there was a lot of us new hires, and he didn't know what all of us could do. Something tells me they were in a bit of a rush hiring some of us.
Did
Like, he knew who
survive?
I was. He knew every bridge crew. He knew us from beginning to end. But a lot of the lower deck people, he didn't know them. He took on our word that they were good. So
Mhm. Did he survive? And I'm curious as to how many other Romulans are aboard, because I saw more than you.
there were a few. Most of them were my hires. I knew who they were. Some of them were his, though. I know who I hired, though. I will admit that I did vaporize the captain the moment he started doing stuff.
You really grant immunity to a man who's guilty of murder?
To be fair, his
Habeas
actions really
corpus,
saved the
where's the
lives of
body?
the rest of the crew, so...
Yeah, but he's still guilty of murder.
Eh.
Okay,
That's the
I'm just
Romulan
saying.
response to murder.
I'm just saying you did promise him immunity,
Oh,
and
yeah, he's
now
already
he's
got it.
admitting to a series of crimes that he definitely should be tried for.
Yeah, but he got the immunity
Actually, I
deal,
believe
you
the
know?
legal system would be on his side in that one, more or less. So,
Yeah.
Is that immunity deal on paper? On paper?
yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Why do you think DLI waited till that thing was? He had something to put his thumb against. Like, no, I'm not saying a thing until I have something in front of me.
Like,
Yeah,
Ryan's
I mean,
already
that's-
sitting here like, he's done something extra, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
That's
getting
generally
the-
how immunity deals work. You only get to know the thing after you've already agreed to the deal.
Mhm. And it's also, this is a comms officer, the guy who is in the exact place to hear most things.
I'm just
So-
saying. I'm just saying. You are letting a man literally get away with murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
You're all very casual about this.
Hey,
Look,
It's the
the
worst thing
legal
this crew's
system
done to
isn't
people.
perfect.
Penn's not here.
The captain was about to have the rest of the crew on that ship be disintegrated. In fact, he ordered all of the other ones to be killed.
Yeah,
One of the
but
new hires.
phasers have a stun setting.
I'm betting this guy had a disruptor.
Oh, Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I killed the guy. I was trying to shoot him in the leg, but I only had a bazooka. I don't know how well that defense would work.
Eh. Anyway. Is there any encryptions that are likely put in the core that we should know about, or that you have access to?
There's encryptions, but I figure your officers will be able to break through it. There's passwords and the like, but nothing military grade.
So, in your opinion, this is a fairly unusual mission, but a fairly standard crew for a smuggling mission?
Some ships are like this. Sometimes you mash up who you need from a variety of places to make it hard to trace who exactly funded the whole mission. What's weird is if anything, what's weird is he rushed him. He didn't bet his crew. Captains usually, in my line of work, who are any good, who have that kind of money, will want to know every single person or know their history and know that they are not Starfleet security or Klingon intelligence or Tal Shiar or something. But
So
he just
very
left it
much-
to us, to the bridge officers, to kind of tell him whether or not they were good, which that's unusual.
So you would say he had a fairly rushed timeline then that he was trying to
Definitely.
keep to.
That's the only because he wasn't stupid. It's not like he didn't know what he was doing. He knew how to run an operation like this. So
Did his
either he
second
just
officer
didn't
survive?
learn how to assemble a crew before, or he was rushed.
Did his first or second officer survive? Or were they on the bridge, if you know that much?
They weren't one of the loyalists. They did manage to survive. Last I saw them, I didn't. The bridge firefight began and ended very quickly.
Well, at least that's something.
Hmm.
If you
It's
think it-
this one on the list. Points it out on the tablet of bridge officers they listed off.
And they're a what?
They are a SOFUNT of some kind that GM at present is not aware of.
Okay.
1 second. I'm randomly generating them because that wasn't already obvious. Ha! They were a Bajoran.
It's Ace's
Wow.
cousin.
Wait, the captain was a Bajoran?
No, the first officer.
First officer.
The
First
captain was a
officer.
Tallarite.
I'm sorry.
So-
So, what happens to the first officer then?
They're alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're alive. Did the first officer list himself as a crewman in our little list? Or anything like that?
They did.
Yeah. Okay, let me just update that and then also update lying on his file. Which isn't shocking, but it's just like one more thing to just put on the charges. Like, Right, is there anything else that you think is particularly necessary for me to know?
Not at present, but I imagine we have a long ride back to wherever it is you're based out of. I'll try to think of anything if it'll help your investigation. Some of the security guards give each other a look, and then you a look. Like, yeah, sure, he will.
It's like, he actually might. Much appreciated. Should actually not be that long to get back to a starbase. And he'll gesture to one of his guys. Please collect the first officer and separate him to a questioning room.
Aye, sir.
And let's get actually, well, yeah. This is Lieutenant Rylov to engineering. If we could have a engineering team down here to retrieve the computer core for analysis.
Aye, I'll be up there in a moment.
Hey, Thralic.
Yeah.
Might be a good time to reach out to the crystals.
Crystals. Too many crystals.
Yeah, quantum phase to quantum fates.
Yeah.
Hey, you chose to go down this psionic path, not me.
Look, yes, but also.
Yes, but also no.
Exactly.
What? Why though? God damn it. Oh well, I'll worry about that later. Shoot. There. Which scene would you all like to resolve next? Because there is Arlen dealing with the computer core. There's Thralic heading to the crystal room. Don't know if there's any other scenes people wish to try to resolve.
Why don't we throw to Arlen?
Yeah. There's the first officer potentially, but yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
With Arlen? Oh, sorry, Ben.
Does Arlen need any assistance from me? Or are you good?
Do you have anything resolving computers?
I don't think... it depends on what you're trying to do.
I think we're just us trying. The order was us to retrieve the computers, secure them, and get the information off them.
Reverse engineering?
It's Federation standard tech.
It
Not
is
Starfleet, but
outdated.
Federation.
That's an assumption at the moment.
Well, either
True.
way, I have a decent score.
If you're not needed on the bridge, Edge, I would not say no to your assistance.
Yeah, I was gonna say, unless the commander has some specific job that she wants me to pitch in with,
Yeah, just
like weird
show up.
psychic nonsense.
You're good.
Just show up and
Um,
cart away the core, and I want the that first officer to see you carting away the core, so he knows we have that. just as a note, I want him to know we have that. And you know exactly why.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. All right. Let me set that scene up. New scene, by the way, obviously. Boop. Boop. I said boop, damn it. Shoo. Oh, God. I'm okay. Everything's fine. I didn't break anything. You broke something.
That's a lie.
Boop. You should be seeing black. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, I see too much colour. It's black.
Mysterious color, unlike any seen on Earth.
Is this a red door and someone painted it black?
Oh God, fucking.
I know. I know, right?
Why do you guys put up with me?
Court order.
I mean, do you
I
know how
knew
many
it.
objectionable things I've said this episode alone? I can judge, but I cannot point fingers.
I mean, to be fair, we tried to let someone else have custody, but they really wouldn't force us to have you.
As someone who's been the subject of a custody battle before,
Why are these still here? Go away. Shoo you things. There we go.
God, how brutal would that be? A custody battle to not have the child.
Where both parents want the other one to have it.
Oh. Oof.
It's like a supervillain origin story.
And
Yeah.
then
Oh, that's turbo fucked.
and then grabbing the oops, no, wrong board. Not that one, this one. Not and come here. Grab. Yep. Boop. Doop. So you enter into one of the large container areas that have the cargo and the crew kind of mushed together.
and then the guy I burnt the fajita. I know it's supposed to be hot, but not that hot. As we're
then-
walking in the door.
Guessing at the
That-
moment Ryl's like right outside the door. Cause...
Or is she hanging out here?
I mean, he would have been talking with the guy like somewhere here. Like they were all in the one room, right?
So you're just waiting for them to bring the computer out to the hallway where you are, or are you heading off somewhere else?
He will be heading off. He just wanted them to get the core.
So he's standing guard in the hall, basically.
I mentioned that's where he was talking to the Romulan guy, rather than in the room with all the prisoners.
Well, that conversation's already happened because remember you talked to the
I was
Romulan
saying
guy.
that happened, and then so he's going to head off in a bit, but he wants to make sure they're actually fine.
Oh, okay, I got you. So the two of you pass by Ryloff and his security detail on the way in.
It'd be a real shame if Van and Arlen got mugged.
So what do Ben and Ireland do?
What's the how's the crowd in here? Because this is a bunch of yeah. This is a bunch of esteemed guests who are known to be
Insights,
violent.
insight, security, difficulty 2.
Like I'd like to get a read on them, especially with my empath ability.
You could do it insight, security, diff 1 because empathy will sense emotions.
Thank you much. I'm spending a momentum.
I just grabbed the momentum because Thralic is away at the moment.
Yep. Oh no. Hold on.
Holding.
Oh god damn it.
Thank you.
Well, I generated 1 and 1, so I'm spending both to quash.
1 and 1 to quash. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, so much threat.
So empathically, you sense the crowd, and it's a lot. There's some sense of resentment, worry, fear, comfort. Someone's amused, but somebody is watching you in your every move. They're being incredibly observant. And observe.
Right.
Yeah, they're observing of you two in particular. They seem to be very focused on what you're doing. Compared to everyone else, most people will notice you and their emotion say is, oh, look, another Starfleet person. So anyway, other people are like, I'm fearful. Oh God. Oh, Starfleet people. Yep, still fearful, you know?
Yes.
Like for most people here, they don't really care that you're
Species-
here.
Species of person watching us.
Well, in my case, who is it? Like, what are they?
Well, let me find out for you. Outside of having a motley crew, I don't know who's there yet until you ask me. Boop. A Vulcan of all people.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's super...
watching.
Yeah. Oh, it's so uncomfortable.
Got something against Vulcans too?
No, it's just that like
It's those
The Vulcans
ears
have
that hear
their down.
Against
everything.
Vulcanoids
yeah,
in
it's
general,
like the
doesn't he?
Vulcan yeah, it's just that super uncomfortable like Vulcan stare down.
Look, I just want them all to go back to Vulcan. That's all I'm saying.
He just doesn't like Greenwoods.
No.
That's
Come on.
racist.
I support you being Vulcan, but do you have to do it in front of me?
Oh my god!
Jesus.
There you go.
Wow.
So yeah, Vulcan, the Vulcan that's over here, basically.
Mhm. Well,
I'm gonna give Finn a side eye.
then he's actually kind of just gonna continue on calm. He says, well, I think we might be able to make a good start here. And he's, looking at his pad, pressing a few buttons. I think we might be able to make a good start on this system, figure out what we've got here. And as he's pressing, he'll turn not directly towards the guy, but like at sort of an angle where he can't see what's on the pad, and just types out, "We are being watched."
Control plus. Security, I suppose. Difficulty would be 2, but distance is a factor here, so I'll call it 1.
Roll.
Vulcans have good eyesight, but they're not eagle eyes. They're not the
Yeah.
elves from Lord of the Rings.
What do your eagle eyes see? Bending a momentum.
So they don't know where the hobbits were taken.
Sure they did. They read The Hobbit. They read good books. Also, our own book, Lord of the Rings. I'm smart. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna sit over here and lose my nerd cred. Don't worry about it.
Okay. it's 2 momentum.
You're okay with that? That's rude. Take your 2 momentum. As yes, you are able to, without raising any suspicion, you're able to. Sorry, what?
No, gain 2, not spend 2.
Oh, my
Bad
God.
correction.
I swear, I'm entirely here. Definitely entirely here.
I was like, what
Draw
are you
us a
doing?
collaborator. They're working with the GM.
So yeah, no. So Ben is able to show that message to Arlen without drawing any attention. We are being watched, I believe it
think
was.
yeah, we are being watched. And then, he sort of holds the pad down to his side and turns his back towards the Vulcan and says, "Yeah, I think this will take us some time to work out."
Yeah, it depends on how many gigaquads they have, or actually a system now. Oh, they're probably still in kiloquads.
Yeah. We're probably gonna have to do some in-depth engineering. Who knows how long it could take.
Yeah, and we'll be limited by the transfer rate of the slowest component. So
Right?
I'll get started on that,
Yeah.
and let's
Basically,
mosey.
you're trying to play off that this is gonna take us much longer than it actually is.
All right. So where are you going?
To the computer core.
Where is it?
Wherever that happens. That's a good question.
I don't know. We're not the one who brought it on.
Reason plus con, security, or science, difficulty 2 to find it. Because you didn't just beam some people and a computer core or just some cargo with a computer core. You beamed a lot of people and a lot of cargo and a computer core. It's in here somewhere.
I am gonna spend a momentum for a third die on science.
May I assist?
You can. It's like you glance up and like, oh, where the hell is it? Hold on. Think about it for a bit. You check your tricorder for a second.
Focus in technical insight,
Sure.
knowing what a computer looks like.
Especially one from 100 years ago. It's like, what do those look like again? I'm used to them taking like 3 decks.
What's this hand crank thing in the front?
Okay, they don't have Babbage machines. The Andorians were a bit more advanced than that.
Babbage machines. That
What's
is
with these
4 hits,
beads on
so-
a string?
Jeez.
So, abacus.
But yes, it is in fact.
This is a slide rule taped to the side.
It's over there.
Okay, so we generate 2 momentum off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Could we create the advantage that the computers in such a place that the Vulcan who's watching us wouldn't have line of sight to the computer unless he like obviously went out of his way for it?
You could, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then,
I'll put a little draw mark on it. That'll be a little more, a little less. Oh God, why it's so big? That's what she said. Anyway, draw.
I was trying to be polite and not say it.
I could hear it in your mind. I'm a mind reader.
Oh God, please get out for your own safety.
But yeah, it's over there, and yeah, you would to access the computer, you'd have to be on this side of the machine to the box. So to see what you're doing, they would have to like come all the way around to get a good line of sight. They'd have to go like all the way over here to see what you're doing.
Yeah, that works.
So,
All right. Let's head over.
you see, there's a crowd of people in the way.
Boy, did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Oh,
Oh, I love that singer.
Never mind.
Yeah, walks up to the crew. Move, bitch. Get out the way.
I was trying to make a joke from the IT crowd.
Ben just looks at Arlen because Arlen is technically the ranking officer here.
The disrespect. He's technically the superior officer here, but you know.
My mate here is technically, but like,
Well, I mean, Ben was the one who was like in front, so he like gets up there, realizes, oh wait, I'm not the one in charge here, and steps.
I'm not
back.
wearing red. I better back up.
Like, I'm not the one who's supposed to be like giving out the orders in this situation.
Oh boy. I have to be social.
Good luck.
Hi, excuse me. We need to get at something in back there, and I gesture at the core. Do you mind stepping aside?
Bite me. And they keep talking about what they're talking about. Something rude about someone else, about how they play Damjat and how Damjat really looks like that one lady from... Anyway, you know what it goes. And then there was this one time at band camp. No. And then there was the Klingon. Oh.
I'm kind of flustered. Yeah, okay. Raise my voice. Right, hey, I need to do my job. Get out of the way.
Presence command difficulty 2.
This is gonna end in tears.
Whoa, hold on. This will end in tears. Draws phaser, set to kill. Whoa. You will move. Don't worry, it won't damage the computer. Like,
Alan, why are you shooting him? I asked politely.
Yes. Step 1, ask politely. Step 2, disintegration.
It's what Ryla would have wanted me to do. Wait, what?
Yeah, why is Rylov like the least prone to just going to the shot? My god.
You left me no choice. Just vaporizes the entire room.
All right.
What do you mean I'm getting court-martialed?
Reckless trait.
Difficult. Complication increase, actually. Because you could tick them off and make one of them want to take a swing at you.
All right. I don't think I could argue Starfleet protocols for interfacing with the general public.
Interfacing?
Not in this casual a manner, no. You're not reading the riot act. You're trying to get a group of people to get out of your way. You're pulling out a nog.
Don't you mean interacting?
Excuse me, sir. Interfering with a Starfleet officer in the line of duty is a crime punishable by spending a weekend in New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. I'll definitely get out of the way. This place is terrible.
Hey.
It's the worst part of Virginia.
Dude, the orcs keep getting out.
All right. No focus. And I have a wholehearty 10 on this. I'm gonna spend 3 momentum.
Should Ven assist at like the muscle?
Eyes being beat at the moment.
Here we go.
Nah.
You have fun with that.
What the hell did you say to me? You're in combat. One of them tries to punch you in the face. Oppose daring security.
Okay.
And I'll group these guys up together, so those two are gonna help beat you up. He's not swinging for lethal, he's just trying to pummel you. So I currently have 4 dice right now.
Oh god, what? Oh no.
This is what happens when you leave me alone to do the social stuff.
Why?
Because I don't talk to people, I talk to computers, man. These aren't NPCs with scripts.
I have the same stats as you.
Trait fast thinker.
What are you trying to do?
Very quickly, one, dodge their fists, and also, put them in a position where they can cause no more trouble.
I won't take fast thinker for that.
All right. I am reckless.
Comp increase.
Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, I don't think I have any other or tricks I can pull at this point. So, one momentum, 2 threat.
Momentum 2 threat.
Right.
4 more than you.
Yarp.
I'll take my 4 threat.
Arlen. Stepped away for 3 minutes.
This is what happens when you leave me alone.
2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll beat up your friend 2 for 2. Because you're both near each other. So that's 5 stress worth of damage and knockdown for a non-lethal attack. As you start shouting at them to get their attention and to try, you remember reading in an a Xeno cultural study that some species respect forceful interaction, like physically shoving them or something to get their attention to show that you respect them or something. Unfortunately, you shoved the wrong person who didn't take that very kindly, and they just pivoted and just swarmed at you.
You just shoved a Nausicaan. Congratulations.
Yep.
Oh, that was a Nordian. Damn it. Nordians like it
You
when
mom
you do
play Domjot with your head.
that. Both Arlen and Ven are looking at a non-lethal injury at this point and being knocked to the ground.
Damn it. I am going to. I can't believe I have to spend this. Decoration of Gallantry to have the damage.
Okay.
Down to 2, I think.
Yep.
I'm gonna do the same.
Okay. You both aren't injured, but you are knocked to the ground because knockdown happened. And
That was their
Swift.
attack.
Swift task.
And they're hitting again.
As they begin trying to stomp Arlen as he manages to kind of you kind of shield your face and your body just enough that you're kind of you kind of let yourself be pummeled a bit to get to the ground, but they're just hitting your arms and elbows. It still hurts a lot, but it's enough to keep you from being knocked out. Unfortunately, they have a lot more energy than you think, and they just follow after you to the ground and start coming after you. You have one free hit because I swift tasked. But I do have 4 dice because it's the 3 of them all attacking you.
All right, 3 threat.
Take my 3 threat, sure. That's 2 more than you.
1. You got a free hit.
Oh, you're right. 1 more than you. It stands.
Yep.
Pummel. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll re-roll some of the misses. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stress to you, Arlen. And because you're prone, I get a bonus momentum specifically for damage. I will add. I'll make Arlen take this damage as well. Because you're both on the ground together. Ben, yes.
There's nothing I can do about that.
Cargonaut Order of Heroism. I ignore the injury. Well, wait, hold on. I take 7.
Yep.
Oh, does it not
3,
matter for you?
4, 5, 6, 7. Nope, I'll take it. Order of Heroism.
You still have some stress left?
I still have some stress left. That's like, wait, hold on. Let's make sure this is actually gonna help.
So, pummel. You kind of just you curl up a bit and just do what you can to weather the storm. Because eventually, probably, hopefully, they'll get tired, and you'll be able to do something about this. Ven, are you avoiding the injury, or are you getting knocked out from the pummeling?
I'm gonna get knocked out.
And out Ven goes. Their turn is over.
Wow. I got taken out because of something that Arlen did. What a shock.
All right.
I will note that the other groups in the room are not coming into this fight at the present. They're kind of just watching what's going on. Some of them are laughing about it, but no one's like in a hurry to jump in.
At some point, Rylov probably can come in because he's out there just like.
Well, I'm an engineer. I have an engineering kit. Corbinian, do I have a plasma torch?
Reasonably, a chief engineer would have that in their kit. Yeah.
I would like to grab my plasma torch, and make a really bright light and flashbang these guys.
You would need it to explode, or you'd have to hit them in the eyes. Because it's literally a controlled torch. It wouldn't flash, really. It's
Dude, I would just call Rylov.
You have a security officer right out there.
I think you need to swallow your pride and just call security.
You could make it explode. It's just that you would possibly take everyone would take some damage from the bursts, but it would be a non-lethal explosion because you're making a small thing blow up, but you're making the attack be I'm trying to stun and flash people basically.
Okay, that's.
And if you did that, what would happen is I would treat it like a grenade. You'd increase the difficulty because you're making something that isn't a grenade into one that's purely for stun. And then it would attack one particular person. And for each delta you got after that, it would affect the other. So if you got 2 deltas.
And Ven's already on the ground. He's not going to be able to take much more. So,
yeah.
Yeah, let's just call Rylov.
You yell for Rylov. And Rylov, you hear there was some commotion. You're hearing yells for help.
Yeah, I'll just step in with the boys.
So movement gets you to this range band. There's some stuff in the way. You can hear the commotions coming in from over here, though.
Yeah, I'll run.
So sprint,
Yeah.
fitness, con, difficulty 0.
Fitness con diff 0.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll say diff 0. No one's gonna get in your way. These guys will. The crowd will try to back once they see security. Like, yeah, we're just gonna stand out of the way of this. Let the prison wardens come rushing in.
Yeah, I don't believe any of my stuff affects running. So, in terms of traits, pretty sure.
I don't
Paranoid
believe
about
so,
twisting
no.
your ankle. No.
Yeah, I was like, the gym could definitely make a play for some of them, I'm sure, but they're also they're acquainted with Rylev at this point. In the sense of, oh no. We'll give you a...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, we'll give you... do I even need to give you a momentum? I can make it with what we have available if I pass the roll, which is...
All you're doing is generating momentum, because even if you make the
Yeah.
roll, it's you move one extra range, extra range band.
That was the... Am I giving you anything? No, not really.
Oh no, I lied, because your move was to go here anyway, so you would have sprinted from here, so you owe me 1 to get to here. 2 if you want to be in the same range band as these guys.
Okay, well, I made 2. I don't even need to be in the same range band as them. I just need to...
If you want to shoot them, you want to be in the next range band over. If you want to punch somebody, you have to be in the same.
Yeah, I mean, we're ideally not going to have to shoot them. We're just going to threaten to shoot them and they'll back off, so...
So you're just
There.
moving out 1 extra? Okay.
Yeah, because if I do area, then... Well, I mean, area is a bad idea, because I might hit Arlen and Ben. But then again, it's also could be area by virtue of having a team. Of just pick a target and shoot them. Just not Arlen. I know we've practiced it, but not Arlen.
So you ran.
Any friends in the senior staff?
So you ran to here. That was an action.
Yes, and we will use the one that I generated and one of the previous existing ones to Swift. Which we'll just make a note for... Actually, no. Yeah, I need to just... I'm going to click steal on that, so I'll see that when they come back. Or is those ones spent already?
Here, I'll grab them. Boop.
Okay. Boop. And, yeah, that is definitely minor draw phaser, because that's a... Do I have to spend to draw the phaser, or is the sprint, because it's an action, doesn't take the minor?
The miner would have got... Oh, no, yeah, because sprint would have made you go to here. So your miner's still floating out there, yeah.
Yep,
You can miner to draw.
Yep. And, yeah. Essentially, step away from the offices.
So you're just shouting a command at them to back off?
Yes. And then, you know, after they've done that, we'll, you know, figure out who they are and just be like, okay, well, welcome to your list of charges.
Presence security difficulty 4, reduced to 3 because the security team's with you.
Okay. Paranoid.
Comp increase. You might not believe them.
Yep. Inscrutable. I don't look nervous. What are you on about? I am in full control here.
Not yet, but it could come up later.
Okay. Admiralty focus of strategy and tactics, actually.
Yeah, as you kind of outline how screwed they are right now.
Even if you decide you wish to try this, this is an Achilles class vessel with a crew complement. In security alone. How many do we even have on this ship?
Basically 500.
It's like,
Yeah,
if you wish to
there's a lot.
escalate, we do have hoplites, if you would like to meet them.
Oh no.
If you do not know what that is, I recommend you ask your friends first. um, sorry, that entertains me. I'm spending a threat.
Okay.
I just like how Rylov's response was, "Oh, this is essentially just America during the riot, and we'll send in the reserves."
What? I'm not 100% sure where you're going with that, Pent, but bad.
Generate a momentum for sure.
More than one.
Two, actually. Boop. Yeah, and you're able to. They back off once they see phasers and a lot of security people pointing phasers at them. Like, yeah, no, we're not. We don't want to get shot over this.
It's like, great. Well, step forward, have someone pick up Arlen. In terms of like help him to his feet.
Yep. Get to my feet. Wipe the blood off my chin. Arlen into med bay. We have a medical situation in cargo bay 2.
You see Ven slowly coming to. Like he's just stunned. He's not lethally injured in any way.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
concussion.
Sorry. What's her name? Asa. I remembered that. Asa is going to say. I'm sorry, it's a little bit late. Asa is going to say, how severe is the emergency?
Bruising, concussion, and we just got mugged over here.
Minor.
I'll be right down. And she's going to motion for two members of a med team to come with her, and she's going to march down to the med bay. I mean the cargo bay.
Yeah, we have an EMH.
We do have an EMH, but you're also
Yeah,
waking
but-
up, so like.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, we're not that
Ryloff's
much of a
not calling
hurry.
it. He's just like looking at her and like retrieve the core.
Yeah, the EMH will not put her out of a job if she can help it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not automating this.
And with all this, I would like to remove the core from the situation so we can work on it in peace.
How would you like to do that?
Grab sled and an engineering team.
Okay, so you summon an engineering team. Gotcha.
I will note, Rylov watching.
Yep.
Keep eye out because paranoid and also wary. So.
It will cost you momentum to grab a graph sled down here because that is an opportunity.
Yep.
Hey, Arlen, maybe let Ryloff know about the Vulcan watching us.
He doesn't know who to watch. He's just watching everyone at the moment.
Do I remember to note that? Effect says I do. I do. Hey, Ryloff. There was also someone else who took special interest in our arrival. Vulcan of some descript.
Of some descript.
I'll give like height, weight, gender.
Presence security diff 2. Ryloff, you can assist with insight security as he is describing the suspect. A person of interest, better way to put it, sorry.
Yeah.
I do at least have a list of suspects. Just be like, okay, who's here?
Starfleet protocols, the protocols of telling someone of a person of interest.
That's true. There is a way to
Racial
do that.
profiling protocols. It's in the book. They
Yes.
teach you that.
Oh my god.
Racial. Oh my.
It's species profiling. It's completely different.
Wow.
I'm waiting for
Horrible
it to not actually
people.
be a Vulcan.
Yep.
What? You
You
think
just
it's a
assume
Remian?
everyone with pointy
Jeez.
ears is a Vulcan, don't you?
Hey, GM, want to
Yeah.
roll to see if my ADHD interfered with me noticing the Vulcan and any details from him?
I'll add a comp to it. Sure, why not?
Okay. Like, was he wearing green or blue?
Plus,
Or
he's
was
not
he
the only
wearing white?
Vulcan in here. There's other Vulcans.
Yeah.
Like, oh, which one was it again?
No, you also think they all look the same?
Yes, I'm a terrible person.
Look, all you hairy species throw me right off. Why do you have hair on your heads? That's just unnatural. Anyway,
To be fair, when he first met Rylov, he called him a Vulcan.
Yep.
this is why
Oh,
Arlen's still a
boy.
lieutenant. Anyway.
I'll take a momentum. It's good. Oh my goodness.
Rylov, you can assist with insight security as you're like, so do you mean this or that?
He's like literally just pulls out the pictures like there's 3 of them. Pick one.
All right.
Ah,
Born near Warp Core.
nope.
Ah,
Rylov's more helpful. He's like,
Rylov's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Not any of those 3. Oh, not any of them. No.
it's like it's not a Vulcan. It's one of the Vulcanoid subspecies.
Did the ears curve inwards or outwards? The convex or concave?
Arlen does describe a Vulcan to you in great detail, but when you show some of the pictures, try to help him along, and after a while, it starts to occur to you. You put away the pad and you start asking other questions, like you're trying to find a brand new person from scratch, like not from the database.
Mm-hmm.
And that once he reports, you start asking the questions. He describes a Vulcan that you know isn't in the manifest. But you do have a description. You do know what this Vulcan looks like, how tall they are, what precise color eyes they were, and all that stuff. You know, you could describe the person to your security if you wanted, but you do know for a fact they weren't part of the crew.
Who are they with? Actually, that isn't necessarily relevant because if they got in here, they could just be any crewman. They were a new crew. They don't all know each other.
yeah.
Aza arrives with the medical team and sees a very woozy-looking Van who's having a hard time getting off the ground.
Mhm. Yeah, no, she's going to motion and say, just stay down, kid. And she's going to kneel down in front of him and begin to examine his head wounds. Because that's my impression, right? This is a kid with a concussion.
It looks like it, yeah. You see lots of bruising. There's some tearing at his uniform and stuff.
Oh, he's got a shiner.
Yeah.
47.
Reason medicine difficulty 1. Would be 2, but you have a medical team around you.
I don't have that many hands, kid. I meant fingers. I also have a concussion. All right, 1 momentum.
1 moment.
Okay, I can't re-roll because I spent the wrong currency.
You were able to determine that yes, Ven did suffer a mild concussion that has rung his bell. Eventually, he will come to his senses again. Though he probably should. At the very least, he'd want before end of shift. He'd want to step into or any other security encounters. He'd want to step into medbay and get his concussion treated so he doesn't have a recurring concussion. But he'll eventually come out of it.
Okay, so
You have
question:
how
in the
many-
future, what's the treatment for a concussion? Like, do I need to send him to go rest for a couple hours, or can I just give him some meds and send him on his way?
There's a certain tool you use that you would scan over their head to help repair the damage that's occurred in there. You could do a hyperspray version of it, but that's a little extreme if it's a mild concussion. If it's like a severe like concussion, then now you need to like get hyperspray and something else. Probably need the biobed and everything. But if it's a mild one, you can. Your kit has the tools needed to deal with that. But medbay is the protocol if you're really worried that some new complications occurred. Especially on the way mission.
Light you can wave.
You ask how many fingers she's holding up, and he goes 3.14956. And it starts like
Okay.
rattling off pie.
Okay. She's gonna motion to the two med teams she brought with her. Can you try to help him to his feet? And I want to move on to examine Arlen and see if he's injured and if anyone else was injured.
What other injuries? I won't charge you for this because it's fairly self-evident. You notice that there is some light bruising on Arlen and primarily on Arlen. These guys over here have some knuckle bruising, and one guy has a slight sprain to his ankle because he kicked him so hard. But they're minor things that will go away with just a bit of not doing the thing. Oh, that hurts it hurts when I punch a wall. Stop punching walls. Like the pain will stop. It's one of those things. Like you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I manage to
Stop
get into
beating up the
some?
engineers.
Did I manage to get into some cutting remarks to bruise their egos at least? Like Garrick?
Yeah, she's going to look at Arlen and say, "All right, you're clean for duty, but I do want to see you in med bay before the end of the day. You understand?"
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And I want to walk right up the Nausicaans and offer to take them to med bay and give them medical treatment if they so desire. They are Nausicaans, right? I didn't misremember that.
A Merdorian.
I think the one was a
Oh,
Nausicaan.
fuck. Oh, no.
It's basically Nausicaan. But anyway, no, I'm fine.
I was gonna say,
You
I don't
sure?
think we even hit them.
No, you beat the shit out of
It's
Arlen.
really no bother. According to my
Oh.
scan, you have a sprain right here. I
I
wouldn't
do?
want that to fester. Yes, you do.
Oh. Well, that's why it hurts when I stand on it. Yeah, sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
The other two
Yeah,
look at him like, you idiot.
Yeah.
How did you not
she's gonna
notice?
she's gonna oh god. Could I have a crutch in my med kit, like a extendable crutch?
Not really. It would cost an opportunity because that's an actual useful tool. Well, not useful.
Would
It's a
you
tool that's
take a
pretty.
threat for that?
I would, yeah.
All right, then I will offer him a crutch and say, just come with me to med bay and we'll get it looked at, and then you can spend a little bit off your feet to heal it. Does it sound good?
Sure.
Thank you. See, this is what reasonable dialogue can do. And she is going
Hey, he
to
started
leave.
it.
I don't want to hear it. I really don't. And she wants to take him and Arlen, him and what's his name? Then. Sorry, I'm sorry. Today is not my day. Then,
okay.
and we're gonna go up to the med bay.
Okay.
And yes, I would. While we're going, I would like to try to instill some basic, not like very gently remind them about non-violent ways to solve conflict.
Hey, he shoved me though. He was trying to start a fight. I just responded back.
You have to use your words. Aggression must always be a tool of last resort. Otherwise, both parties will suffer for it.
So I was supposed to let him bully me? That doesn't seem very smart.
No. You can stand up for yourself while also not resorting to violence.
I
There's
did stand up
a
for
fine
myself
line here.
on his head.
Okay.
And
You get
I'm
the
just gonna be
tenor of how
standing
this
there.
conversation was going.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna say, you are free to do whatever you want. Just the next
really?
time, it might be worse than a sprain.
Oh, I'll be back. There's a half second of you can do whatever you want. Oh, okay. It starts like leaving you, and it's like, and then you complete the sentence. He turns around, and comes back. The nurses just look at him and go, "Yeah, that's a Miradorian, all right." It's like Nausicaa, but dumber somehow.
Arlen, please retrieve the core. Make sure you double check for tampering that might have recently occurred.
I should have had you escort us in, but I thought we could just get in and out. But yeah, let's grab the core, make sure that it wasn't tampered with.
Control plus engineering difficulty opposed as you begin checking over the computer core to make sure it hasn't been tampered with or sabotaged in any way before you start moving it around.
He has his engineering team.
Gives you one
I
free hit.
do.
Buying all the dice I can.
There's also the
technical
extent that Rylov can potentially help if you wanted to, but
technical insight as a focus.
You could, yeah.
Reckless trait.
Comp increase.
Do I have a determination of me looking for traps?
do you have one for being on that Klingon ship that had the
Oh.
entire reactor room rigged with mines?
I'll also note to you, I have 3 free hits. Your comp range increases by 3. Spending a couple other threat. I'm spending toward my value of hands-on learning. This feels very familiar. Scarily familiar.
I don't like that.
But the one of the Grethor station missions, I believe, or what was the mission where we ran to clear the minefield with the
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
On a previous spend with luck and practice are no limits to catch the minefield.
Okay, yep. I would take that.
I think the
I
episode
will-
after that, but yeah, that works too.
Yeah. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to spend into. With luck practice or no. Nothing's perfect. Only better than it was. Because I'm not really pushing limits.
Hmm.
You're not.
What?
You're trying to make sure it's not trapped, or in other words, tampered with.
Home is where the tools are. Make sure this thing is gonna hurt my home.
I wouldn't say anything to that one. No, I wouldn't take that second one.
You do have mission directives too.
Let's check the pins for directives.
They were mentioned in the thing earlier, so let me just go find it.
Scrolling up.
There. Okay, it is determine if any smuggling routes are using the anomaly to hide their movement, detain any smugglers or prisoners, and set up a sensor net. Which, this is a computer core for that, so I think this determines if any smuggling routes are using the anomaly to hide their movement.
Determination spend towards that directive.
Yep.
All right, cancel yours out.
It's true.
And you have Rylov's assist if you ask nicely.
Starfleet citation of conspicuous gallantry.
What does that do for you?
I'm gonna roll 6 challenge dice, see how much threat you get.
Roger.
I like how Rylov just said, "I will help you, but only if you beg for it."
Mm-hmm.
I'll take my 3.
If we think that this thing might be a tamper with, will you help me look for obvious signs of it or dangerous signs of it?
I suppose the safe signs.
Yes. Obvious signs.
Oh, I owe you one that since I spent a point of determination, so I'm only Only
Oh,
spending to
you're.
get 4 extra dice. Yeah.
Well, I would take off the last day. I would take the dice as they rolled in order.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gotten that last die in either case.
Yeah. Which
Just like
I'm
keep-
guessing investing techniques focus for I love helps there.
Yeah.
Lateral thinker trait. Thinking outside the box.
Yep. Okay, they'll give you. So you have 2 free hits. I have 3.
Which is his engineering team and his trait, correct?
Engineering team trait and the 2 hits from the determination.
Those
So-
aren't free hits. That's technically a part of a roll.
Yeah, that's technically a die. That rolls 1.
Yeah.
Because they're
all
also
right.
spending the determination, if you remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, because we
right,
both spent
that cancels.
determination. We canceled each other out there. Yeah.
Old. Or were these dice before?
Two, 4, 6, 8, 9.
11.
11 to Arlen's or 11 Starfleet side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, you are able to determine that there is no bomb or anything of that nature. It's more that it seems that a certain type of computer programmed failure was made into the database in such a way that it was going to start ripping apart on the software level all the stuff on the computer. It was waiting for it to be moved or something like that. But you're able to find that fault, and you can either try to remove the programming, or you could try to do a straight up hardware removal of that particular partition of the entire data core, which will remove some of the data, but it will isolate the part of the computer that from a sheer hardware perspective, it can't interact with the rest of the computer. The reason why you would do that, if you try to counter the programming somehow and cancel it out, you'd have to do this roll again to counter it. If you do a hardware one, it's a flat difficulty. It's increased by your trauma, but because you're dealing with that particular subject matter, but it's not an opposed roll anymore because you're fighting a computer that's just sitting there. It's just a matter of removing it yourself, as opposed to fighting the programming of someone who seems to know you or Yolan very, 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 very well. Or Yolan himself is actually messing with you for some stupid reason, but you know. But it's
I'm the
disturbing
paranoid
to
one,
you
not
in
him.
any case.
Do we how much of the computer core or would have to partition off? How much information would we lose?
Oh, a lot.
Ugh.
A lot.
If you are not confident in doing this, we can either, well, I prefer sooner rather than later, providing there's no secondary subroutine in that virus under a timer, get someone different to do the programming.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't remove the physical restraint of this without losing a bunch of the data on this core.
And is this an
What?
engineering role to do the programming? Question mark. Or is that
It would be
science
a science roll for programming. Yeah.
Normally we would bring Van, but he was recently incapacitated. So we can bring Rymek or Sub Lieutenant Talora?
I trust Talora.
I'm pretty sure she has an antipathy with you. Does she on your sheet? I know she doesn't like you from a character standpoint because you tried to kill her, but I don't know if she has an antipathy.
But I do not have antipathy with her.
Okay, I know we talked about it because it would make sense, but if she doesn't have one,
Yeah.
I'm sure she's just showing up. She just doesn't want to be next to you.
So you're calling her down to help you with this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Scene ends as you wait for her to come down.
Because I'm not a scientist, and nor is Arlen. I have a 1 in science. You don't want me programming anything.
Like I have a 3 in science, but I'm not really the science guy. I don't have anything else to support it. And also, if I'm going to be programming this, I have a feeling that I'm not gonna like what I see because it already looks familiar.
And you are informed, the bridge learns that the anomaly has vanished from sensors, along with the planet that was attached to it. Achilles' crew has captured all relevant persons that were in the area and will be able to examine some of the data that they found. But at present, it seems that their mission is over. And the Achilles will be called back to Ranger Station for a future mission, or they might be sent a message. The standing order will be to head back to Ranger Station for further until further orders are sent, but they might send something to you before you get to them. And that will be the end of the episode.